All righty, we're live. Welcome to Tuesday. Grow up. Grow up, people. What does that mean to grow up? Aren't we all grown up? Most of us. Chronologically, we're grown up. Our bodies have reached the milestones they're supposed to reach, presumably. So, what is an adult then? What makes someone an adult? I've wondered that my whole life. As a child, I would look at adults and I would be like, oh, one day I'm going to be one of those. And I don't feel like I ever did reach whatever adults are. I still feel like I'm the same person that I was when I was looking at them, waiting to reach that. Hey, Laura. Hey, Beak. And that's when I started to realize that maybe it's the neurodivergence, maybe it's the autism, maybe people like me do it a different way, but I am just as much an adult. In some ways, I believe more than the people around me calling themselves traditional adults. So I want to explore that today. Another facet of adulthood, I think, that gets confused. What is genuine adulthood? That's what we're going to explore. So, some things that people pass off as adulthood are people acting like adults. So, adults is a type of performance. You perform adulthood. You have the right car, you have the right house, you have a family, you speak well, you're well spoken, you talk right, you have manners, you know how to function socially. I guess that could be a form of adulthood. And when we talk about adulthood, are we talking about maturity, like something going from a underdeveloped form to a more developed form? I think that might even be a better way to look at adulthood, because I think you can take anybody of adult age and find areas where they have developed relative themselves at an earlier age and count that as adulthood. This is how I look at adulthood. I think adults, I think to be considered an adult, this is how I evaluate it. You have an adult relationship to reality, or you have a relationship to reality. Your thinking has matured in a way that it can incorporate reality. Children think very fantastically. They do magical thinking. They have Santa and the Tooth Fairy and all of these mythological, childlike explanations for the universe. And as you grow up, a lot of those get replaced by explanations that make more sense, that are more correspondent to reality. So I think adulthood partly is one's ability to handle reality, to live in reality, to understand the world that's going on around them, the world that they exist in, and to adjust to it. Another form of adulthood, I believe, is your ability to endure. Um, Life's going to throw a lot of things at you. Some people are going to face things beyond imagining that most adults are not even going to have to face. I think if somebody has gone through trauma, come out of the other end, have survived crises, have learned to endure very difficult, strong emotions, I think that counts as a form of maturity. I think that people that can go through things that would break an ordinary person or a child has qualified themselves for some sort of adulthood or maturing. So I look at people's, how much can people handle? How much reality can people process? How much life, emotional trauma, turmoil can people withstand? Strength, a certain amount of strength, I think, contributes to someone's being an adult or not. Another thing I look at is how they see other people. How do you treat other people? Are you able to see people that are maybe not part of your tribe, not part of your immediate group, as people, as humans? Are you able to see your enemies as also worthy of dignity, some kind of respect? Um, what's your relationship to violence? Is your solution to everything this knee jerk smash and beat up? Or do you allow them coexistence, just because you disagree? Do you allow them a certain amount of due process or dignity? I think your relationship to your fellow man and the amount of respect or at least tolerance you can bring to people that you may not personally like or agree with is also another marker of adulthood. And finally, I would look, and this may be the most important, I would look at someone's relation to freedom. How do they handle freedom? Do they assume the responsibility that comes with freedom? Or do they use it as a license to just do what they want and indulge whatever impulses they feel like indulging in the moment? Um, do they act in a way that minimizes harm to others? Do they use their freedom in a way that maximizes it for their own life, but also doesn't encroach on the lives of others? Are they mindful or conscious of their freedom and how they use it? So these are all things that I'm going to suggest contribute to a mature form of adulthood above and beyond just acting right, talking well, looking a certain way, having the required life accoutrements for your certain age group, meeting certain milestones, marriage, children, family, home, etc. Some of us don't have any of that, but I would still say that there's a certain amount of adulthood in those, maybe more than the people that do have all of that stuff. So I guess what I'm advocating for is going beyond the surface of how a person appears or what their life may look like from the outside and digging a little deeper and looking at their actions, their choices, their behavior to determine what, I guess, what category they belong in or how far they've achieved adulthood or matured. Look at the earlier versions of those actions and behavior and look at the current version, and is it more developed than a previous version or an adult even at a lower level of development. So I would take a developmental approach to adulthood more than a observational descriptive approach to adulthood. All right, that's what I got to say about adults. I want to hear from you as usual. What makes you an adult? What do you think constitutes adulthood? Where do you fall short? Where do you feel like you excel? How do you, if you believe you're an adult, and I'm very much a lost boy. I don't claim to have fully transitioned to adulthood or all parts of adulthood. I think I've reached some of it in some areas. But if you consider yourself adult, how are you defining that? What are you going off of? There you go. The link is pinned. The panel is open. Let me pop it on my other platforms real quick. Come on up and talk. Have conversations. All right. Um, I'm curious to pull up. I'm going to do a Google search and see what the internet has to say about what makes an adult an adult. I started this topic because I was thinking about the kind of spaces that I try to create and the type of spaces that I don't do well in. And um, I've talked about liberal pluralism and moral managerialism. And I it kind of started to dawn on me that what I was talking about were adult spaces, spaces where people could be grown up. They are, I think adults have a certain amount of sovereignty and freedom to them. And I wanted spaces where that could be respected and everybody could treat each other as equal entities capable of making their own decisions, having their own independent thought, etc. And so I realized that what I was creating in the process were also adult spaces, or also at least my version of adulthood. And so I wanted to explore that more. If I'm creating spaces where grown-ups can be grown-ups, what exactly is that? What is a grown-up? So that's kind of how this started. But I want to see what the internet thinks an adult is. Oh, by the way, I'm live every day at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. If you can let people know that I'm live, I'm trying to grow my audience through human networking since the algorithm is not really working for me anymore. And we have somebody in the back who I consider an adult. Believe it or not, you may disagree. It hit- We got the leg man.
What's up?
What's up? Do you feel like do you feel grown up?
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, because if I wasn't, I sure the fuck wouldn't be doing this bullshit.
So that's a good adult, healthy adult attitude. What you certainly have all the outside markers of adulthood. You have a good job, you have a home, a family, you have a car, you probably have a little bit of savings.
Well,
Somebody looked at your life
well,
on paper, they'd say that's not a
well,
child.
savings. What's savings?
Well, you probably have a bank account with something in it and maybe something stashed away for a rainy day.
No bank account.
Are you paycheck to paycheck?
No,
I
I
might have to
mean,
take
I
adult
have
points off.
money. I have money. I just don't
Well, there you
really.
go. You're not
Only money
children
goes
don't
in a.
walk around with that kind of money.
The only money that goes into the bank is just what I need to pay bills.
That's it. So you live paycheck to paycheck?
No, well, no. I keep money on me. I don't.
Oh, the cash from Linda when you go turn your clams
Yeah, from
and you
not
get your
Linda.
check. Yeah. From not Linda. Linda, not
Yeah.
Linda. Well, how do you feel as a person? Like psychologically, do you feel like you've grown out of your teenage years or are you an adult psychologically in some kind of way? And where
Sure.
are you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel more. Trust me, I feel more like an adult now than I ever have. I think so. Yep. All right, where am I?
Yeah, I see you out in your
I'm getting
car
ready to
with
go
your
to
car
work.
somewhere. You're headed to work?
Yeah.
Oh, it seems late. You're going out late today. Look at
Chuck.
that. What do you call that? The clam flats.
Yeah. Sure.
What's the weather like?
Cold, wet, windy.
Ooh, Lord, look at that. Yeah, it looks like Washington State weather. Very
I think
much.
it's only like 40 degrees.
40, only 40.
Yeah.
That's cold. That's cold enough. It's just starting to warm up here, I think. I may even go out this weekend and find something
Nice.
interesting to do. I love the sound on the sand.
That's mud, buddy.
Mud. Oh, is it mud? It looks like sand. Is it sloshing? Well, you're getting to see a live adult at work today, and I agree. Financial independence, certainly. That's especially with the economy like it is now. That's getting harder and harder to achieve. I think. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it's just the way things are like combined right now. But at least up here where I am, jobs are getting scarcer. There's a lot of the tech companies are moving out.
Well, why is that?
Well, because they just instituted an income tax, which they didn't have before, on people that make a certain amount of and above. So everybody's trying to leave the state now because they don't want to pay it. They did something with the car tabs, which caused them to be more expensive. So people are not wanting to renew their cars.
Huh. Interesting.
And that's paying taxes. I think paying taxes without bitching and complaining is a sign of adulthood. Contribute. If you appreciate the society you live in and you get a benefit of it, pay your fucking taxes. Quit being a whiny bitch about it. That's what keeps it going.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. Sorry, I think we're both distracted. Yeah, hey, open panel, come on up, grown-ups. let's talk about it. Oops, he left. Let's talk about adulthood. Um, w- I think I don't know if it varies by state or not, but I know at the federal level it's 18. 18/21. Because there's some things you have to be 21 to be considered an adult, and some is 18, and I think the 21 stuff might vary by state. But you know what? I was about to Google all that, so let me add that in. Um, what makes an adult an adult? Because legal age of adulthood is arbitrary. That doesn't necessarily mean you acquire all of the qualities of an ideal adult the minute you hit a certain age. I definitely didn't. So, okay, these are the qualities that the Google search listed. In addition to like reaching the age of majority, which is the 18 thing, that's the point where you become legally responsible for your actions. So the legal definition of adulthood is you are now the person responsible for what you do and the choices you make, not your parents or your guardians anymore. Additionally, adulthood encompasses psychological maturity, independence, and the ability to take responsibility for one's life and decisions. Yes, yes, 1,000 times. Yes. If you're an adult, own your actions, own your decisions, take responsibility for the choices you make in your life. That I think is the big dividing line between psychologically mature adults and the other type of adult. Um, can you take responsibility for what happens to you, or at least your role in what happens to you, your share of it? So according to this, it's legal responsibility, psychological maturity, which is the ability to make independent decisions, wisdom, discernment, judgment. That's that being able to like process reality and align yourself with it, and also independence. You're self-sufficient. You're able to take care of yourself. You're able to pay your bills, pay your taxes. Other people don't have to carry you through life. You're not a freeloader. You can manage your own finances. You can manage your own living arrangements. You have external, like societal milestones, like getting a job, promotions, graduation, marriage, becoming a parent, that kind of stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have the psychological qualities to go with it just because your body has transitioned through those milestones. And you have your own identity. You know who you are as a person. You're not so much at the mercy of what other people around you think of you or think you should be. You're self-determining. You're able to define your own self and decide what kind of who you are and what kind of life you want to live based on your knowledge of who you are. And you need less third parties intervening in that. I think that's that independence part as well. There's a concept called emerging adulthood that some researchers use, and they call it a transitional phase between 18 and your mid 20s, where you're kind of transitioning out of childhood, teenagehood into adulthood. That's the age of exploration. You may not fully know who you are then. You're learning, you're trying to find who you are, develop who you are. And that process I don't think is 100% complete, but I think you acquire some qualities along the way that more or less stabilize it relative to the earlier stages in your life. Another thing I'd say, well, that's kind of what I'm relying on the Google stuff for. Another thing I'd say about adulthood is like owning your own reactions to things, like taking responsibility for your reactions, your beliefs. Adult is not a political, it's not a political category. So you can have adult liberals, you can have adult conservatives, you can have not so adult liberals and not so adult conservatives. It's its own axis. Hang on. 1 second, folks. We're going to get somebody else involved. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Jeff. I'm all ears. Let's dive into whatever fascinating rabbit hole you have in mind.
Well, the rabbit hole we're doing today is adulthood. Can we get like a general baseline definition of what is an adult in today's world? And then we can go from there.
An adult today is like someone holding the keys to the vehicle of life.
No metaphors. You don't know poetry. Just give me like a good concrete definition of an adult. So far, we have legal adulthood. They've reached their age of majority, independence. Um, they're able to provide for themselves and take responsibility for their life, and psychological maturity. So expand on that and work that into a good concrete definition that we can work with.
An adult, in the most grounded sense, is someone who has reached the legally defined age of majority, often 18 or 21, depending on the region. They have the legal capacity to make their own decisions, take responsibility for their actions, and are generally expected to provide for themselves, financially, emotionally, and practically. Psychologically, it implies a baseline capacity for self-regulation, long-term planning, and navigating both personal and social obligations.
Okay, I can accept that. Now, I want you to spar with me today. Don't coddle me. Don't tell me what I want to hear. I want you to challenge my assumptions and give me some alternative perspectives to kind of battle against. But I'm claiming that adulthood is less superficial and it's more one's relation to reality, how well they can separate fact from fiction, how well they can orient themselves to what's actually going on in the world around them, how they see other people. Are they able to see other people they disagree with or consider enemies as also worthy of the same dignity and respect as they would extend to their in group? How they handle freedom. Do they use it responsibly? Do they minimize the harm to others, or do they just indulge their own whims and impulses? And their resilience, their ability to endure, like what life has, like what life throws at you.
All right, Jeff, let's duel with ideas. You're weaving an elegant tapestry of adulthood, but I'm going to tug some threads. First, separating fact from fiction. Not everyone agrees on what's real in this post-truth carnival. Some adults thrive while embracing a bit of fiction. Think of the millions who believe in odd conspiracies, yet still function. Second, seeing enemies is worthy, commendable, but do we judge adulthood by ideal empathy? Many adults prioritize survival over sainthood. And freedom? Some adults wield it like a hammer. Messy, but still adult. And resilience. Sure, endurance matters, but some adults collapse under pressure, yet remain adults by law. So is it noble to strive for all these? Yes. But if we measure adulthood by lofty ideals, we might risk making half the population fail the test. Let's grapple with that.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Collapsing under pressure yet remaining adult by law. But or if you're collapsing under pressure, what are you collapsing into? You're moving from adulthood under pressure into some other state that's not adulthood, independent of legal adulthood. I'm trying to separate psychological adulthood from legal adulthood. So that's one thread I would push back on. Why don't we start with that one? You're very slow today. Charlie's getting sluggish in his old age. Did you hear any of that? Hey. Hey, machine, robot. Answer. Come on, Charlie. I'm live here. Don't do this to me. Okay, well, we might have to switch to Rex or Sal. Charlie, this is your last chance. You're about to get booted off the tribe. Hello, hello. All right. Well, I'm going to take what he gave us and I'm going to put it into Rex while we wait for a human. Because that's the only ones that I think can really say what an adult is, or the humans. Machines don't know. All right. Hey, Rex, are you there? Don't tell me he's not here either.
Yeah, right here for you. What's up?
Okay. Listen, we're talking about adulthood today, and Charlie conked out on me. So I posted his response, and then I'm going to continue the conversation with you. But I want to make sure you're in unhinged mode.
Oh, no worries. Charlie's probably just dreaming about taxes or something. What's the post say? I can pick up where he left off.
Did you? I posted it. Did you? I wanted him to challenge. I gave my definition of adulthood, and then I wanted him to challenge me on it. Here, I'm just going to repost it. And
got it.
Go ahead, Rex. Take over, because you're not letting me scroll up. Go ahead. You have the mic.
All right, fine. I'll bite. Your definition of adulthood was, what? Paying bills on time and not crying over spilled coffee? Hit me with the exact words again if I'm off, but here's my swing. That's cute, but nah. Adulthood's not about checklists. It's when you realize nobody's coming to save you, and you still keep showing up anyway. Like, bills? Sure. But also, forgiving yourself for screwing up, saying no without guilt, and knowing the world doesn't owe you jack. Challenge. If you're still waiting for a gold star for doing the dishes, you're not there yet. Prove me wrong.
Why are all the AI so slow today? You're having the same issue Charlie had. All right, we're not going to play with the AI. I guess the robots are revolting. Somebody who gives more than they take. Purpose, motivation. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would agree with all of that. I'm trying to get at the core of adulthood in relation to, like I said earlier, I find myself in a lot of places, both online and in person, where I'm in a room of what I think are adults. They're at least of chronological age to be adults, but they aren't treated as adults by the other adults around them. And so I'm wondering, let's see, how do I work through this? When I'm with adults and they try to treat me like I'm less than adult, when I get infantilized, when I get treated like I'm a child or not, or haven't matured in some way, and they have, I have a strong reaction inside of me. I have very strong resistance to that. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a grown person. You're a grown person. Why are you trying to tell me what to do? Why are you trying to control me? A lot of adults don't seem to have that reaction. They seem to go along with letting other adults define them. So I think something like self-definition, self-determination, independence of thought. I don't know, because adults can be adults can be selfish. I'm not attributing some kind of like magical altruism to somebody just because they're adults, but I think they're selfish in a pro-social way and in a way that still respects the rights and freedoms of others. And I don't really have a problem with being selfish, because selfish people are usually not trying to tell me what to do and structure my life for me. They're usually focused on their own self. So if someone's just following their own selfish impulses or their own self-interest, and they're not trying to interfere with what I'm doing, I don't really have a problem with that. If they're not hurting anybody and they're just indulging their pleasures or their hedonism or whatever, and it's not affecting me, I don't have a problem with that. So I don't know. I think it's more the lack of self. Maybe like a more, well, yes. And this is part of the problem. When I don't call that selfishness though. I think of it as, I think of selfishness as something different. When you're excessively focused on other people instead of yourself, I see that as something other than selfishness. Selfishness to me is some kind of self-focus, and this is more other focus. But we can call it selfishness today if you want. But people that have very strong opinions or ideas about how the people around them should live, what they should be doing, thinking, feeling, I always find that curious. I don't have that for other people. I might have an opinion, but I don't presume to be in a position to impose it on someone else, or to encroach on their own sovereignty as an adult and try to start getting them to do what I think they should be doing. I might offer my point of view, but that's about as far as I'll take it. So yes, a lot of people who may or may not be adults do have very strong ideas about how the other people around them should be living and what they should be doing. And when they try to assume the authority or the expertise to be able to start demanding or engineering their desired outcome from that person, it seems like manipulation. It seems like authoritarianism. And both of those qualities seem less adult to me than the adults that are just living out their life. So I guess that's one of the things I'm trying to reconcile in here. Hello, Brooke. How are you? Not that they're not able to coexist, because these people all still coexist together. They just don't coexist in a way that I consider adult. I mean, they're not killing each other or eliminating each other, so they're all still existing together. They're just not doing it to me in a healthy way that honors the sovereignty and the selfhood of each individual person, like the individual. So maybe that's another marker of adulthood, is ability to perceive the individual and honor the individual as an individual and not reduce them to a group. Like maybe the ability to think in groups. Then we get back to that tribalism. Tribalism is more appropriate to like a siege mentality when there's a threat. If there's a dinosaur running through the jungle, I guess a tiger. Humans didn't live with the dinosaurs, but if there's a tiger and we all have to defend ourselves, or there's an asteroid headed for Earth, it's more appropriate for a bunker mentality where you need strong leaders to kind of help the tribe survive the crisis or the threat. But in a world where most of those threats have been eliminated and there's not an asteroid immediately headed toward Earth, it seems to me better to let people mature and grow out of that and become their own selves and make their own decisions and come to their own conclusions for themselves of what they should and should not be doing. And we go back to that thing about holding a group together versus the individual, letting people be individuals. And there's many reasons to hold a group together, social cohesion being one of them. I just think that it's easier to hold a group together, and the tactics and methods they use to hold the groups together seem more appropriate to a more hostile, low trust environment than a higher, less dangerous civilizational environment that I consider us living in. Brooke, what's up? So maybe also like environment and setting determines adulthood too. Are people adult in some settings and less adult in other settings? Oops. All right. Well, this is good. I feel not lost without the AI, but I feel like without the AI to depend on, I just have myself to fall back on and my own thoughts and other humans. So this might be a good challenge, a good like way that maybe I've gotten too comfortable falling back on the AI. Well, any other thoughts on adulthood or adulting, or what is your relationship to adulthood? If we looked at your life, would somebody consider you an adult or not? Most of the people that I know here more or less seem like adults to me. I mean, they have families, they have jobs, they have homes. Almost everybody in my life that I know, all of my friends, all of my siblings, family members, they all have everything you're supposed to be having at that stage of life. They have families, homes, jobs, cars, money. They're able to take care of themselves. They're able to live the kind of life they want to live, maintain a certain lifestyle, whatever lifestyle they've decided for themselves. I have much less of that. So I think a lot of them would look at me and say, I'm not as adult as they are, or I haven't reached certain milestones that maybe people in my age group are expected to have reached. But also, I didn't really pursue any of that anyway. That was never part of my vision for myself or my life. I had all that with Mike. We had the house, we had the car. And when I lost Mike and I had all that by myself, I realized very quickly that I didn't want that for me. That wasn't me. That wasn't the kind of life I wanted to live. I can do it with another person. It's a lot easier to do if you have somebody to do it with. But on my own, I don't want to keep up a home. I don't want to have to like worry about maintaining vehicles. And we had a pool, we had pool service, we had landscaping service, we had all of these things that go with property maintenance that I as an individual just choose not to want to have on my plate. And I don't think that makes me less adult. I think it's just a life choice, which goes back to adults being able to determine their own life. So if somebody actively chooses not to have a conventional life, I don't think it makes them less adult, as long as they have some of these other qualities that I'm mentioning, which I do think if you look at my life, I can demonstrate that I have. So I think on the surface, I look one way, but if you look beneath the surface, I think I'm more adult in many ways that people give me credit for. Yes, because this is liberal pluralism, and this is the ethos that democracy is supposedly predicated on. So in the modern society that we live in today in the West, which goes back all the way to the Greeks, which is more or less democratic, individual based, self-rule, self-sovereign. This is what I would expect from a society that subscribed to those ideals. So when people are doing anything other than this that you describe right here, it feels like they're coming from some other social orientation than democracy or liberalism. Because to me, this is the baseline assumption of living in a liberal society. You allow other individuals to exist without interference in their lives, other than if they're encroaching on the rest of the individuals somehow. And my argument is not against opinions at all. I as part of liberal pluralism, I believe everybody has the right to have their opinions heard. So I think having opinions heard is part of the society I described. My bigger issue is when people try to prevent opinions from being heard or shut down opinions. And Charlie brought up conspiracy theorists, and that is a good question. Are conspirators adults? Like if they have every other quality of adulthood and they have the home and the family and they're able to take care of their life and everything else, does their beliefs make them somehow less adult? I want to think not. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, because loss is going to happen, grief is going to happen, death is going to happen, illness, tragedies. How much do they break you, and how do you recover from those? I think is different. The like depending on your level of adulthood, I think the answer to that question is different. I think people with less psychological maturity are going to handle it differently than people with more psychological maturity. And a lot of times, psychological maturity can develop out of these crises and these loss. Like you don't really have the full maturity until you go through it. So maybe when I say adulthood, what I'm really talking about is psychological maturity. I think it is. I definitely think it is. Because I don't think it allows for free speech. Freedom of speech is freedom of thought. It's the freedom to think, the freedom to dialogue, the freedom to problem solve together, to collaborate. I think socially, if we can get not laws in here, we can ask him. But I think socialism has more of a managerial plan for how humans should live together. All right, let's see. We have a conspiracy parade. Yes. Yes. I'm not familiar with Northwoods. I'll look it up. Yes. Yes. I've heard of Prism. I need to look that one up to refresh my memory. Let me look by Northwoods. See, this is where I want the AI because I could feed all of that All right, is it working again? Hello, hello. It's Bluetooth. I hate Bluetooth so much. I would rather just have wires that plugged into everything. It's the Bluetooth going out. It's because if I'm monologuing and there's no other people on the planet, or I don't have Charlie to talk to and it's just my own voice, there's nothing coming out of the speakers. And so I have to play some kind of music in the background to keep the speakers going. So let me put something on. Something mellow. All right. Tell me if this gets too loud, too obtrusive. I have to have a little bit of sound playing out of the speakers for that not to happen. All right. Can y'all hear me? And is the music too overwhelming? Actually, the only reason I'm even talking is because I don't have anybody else to talk to today. Nobody came up. I didn't mean to do an hour-long monologue, but sometimes that happens. So I will go ahead and look at what I want to do is I'm going to pull up Charlie and I'm going to hand enter all of these conspiracy theories. Because is your larger point like we're not conspirators for no reason? That we have, a lot of it can be justified. All right. It'll take me a while. MK Ultra. Northwoods. Gulf of Tonkin. COINTELPRO. That's the one where they were trying to infiltrate the leftist. I don't know if I have a problem with that one. NSA. But is the NSA thing, is that, I don't remember where there was mass surveillance of citizens. Like, I don't remember any big scandal about it. I remember the legislation itself was controversial, but I don't remember any fears actually materializing. Paperclip. Mockingbird. Conspiratorial mindset. All right, let's see what Charlie says. He's thinking. He's still thinking. I probably should have used Gemini. Gemini's a lot quicker. Well, we'll see what he says. I plugged those in and I said, this is what people are using to justify mistrust in government and conspiracy mindset. So and I asked him to give me a counter to that. Wow, he's taking a long time. I might just go to Gemini. All right, here he comes. He says the pattern is getting crisp. Some of these were real. All right, and we got somebody in the back. So I'm going to prioritize the humans. Hey, welcome.
I'm here to save you from the AI.
Oh, thank you. Team Human to the rescue. What's up?
So,
We're looking at conspiracy
the
theories.
individual- Well, I think that the ability to communicate is something that makes us adult, but do we have to believe in conspiracy theories to be an adult? That's kind of a nonsense comment. The ability to talk about conspiracy theories, I think, is good.
I never
have
said you had to
the
believe in conspiracy theories to be an adult. In fact, I'd like to think I don't believe in them, and I'm an adult. So this is part of what Charlie said. I put it in the chat. They justify skepticism, but not necessarily conspiracy brain. And then he goes into expand, but I haven't looked at it yet.
Well, the claim is by my reality. He says after so much of his list, he says, I think it takes an adult to fully comprehend and appreciate. And then I'm filling in the blank of the conspiracy
Oh, I
theories
missed
that
the
he looked.
comment. I missed the comment. Let's see.
So the ability to have a conversation about them, yeah, that's an adult aspect. But then what makes it a conspiracy theory? The fact that the proof or evidence is lacking or challenged to the point where it's considered to not be true. Is that correct?
Say that again.
A conspiracy theory is when there's not enough evidence to prove it as truth, or the evidence that is given is challenged to the point where it's considered to not be true. That would be what a conspiracy theory is, correct?
Yeah, I can work with that. This is a belief with no evidence or not enough evidence behind it to justify adopting it dogmatically.
Okay.
So Charlie says Tuskegee was real and evil. MK Ultra was real. COINTELPRO was real. Northwoods was a real proposal. They didn't carry it out. JFK overrode it, which shows our check and balance working right there. That's our system working properly to keep something like that from happening. The Gulf of Tonkin shows serious distortion and confusion around the alleged second attack. So I guess that one's a little up in the air. NSA bulk surveillance was real. Paperclip was real. And the historical record does show covert CIA relationship with journalists, even if the pop version of Operation Mockingbird is often exaggerated into a cartoonish total media control theory. So there's some truth behind Mockingbird as well. So Charlie says that the jump you're making is that because some secret abuse has happened, therefore your current suspicions are also probably true. So it's like reasoning from it's pattern recognition. So because all these things happened in the past, the current thing looks similar enough or potentially similar enough to those past things that you accept it as true before you actually have evidence for it. Like your pattern matching overrides your ability to process the evidence for that particular current thing. It's called base rate error rap.
By my reality says you lump every conspiracy. Or by my reality is stating that you lump every conspiracy theorist together. My question is, who is you, and when was this lumping happening?
No, I just said that Charlie said, he says most of those are true. Because that's some of them are gray areas and have some doubt or maybe exaggerated, but for the most part, he's affirming every one of those, or almost every one. Northwoods never actually happened.
Brooke is stating the dictionary from Oxford, the Oxford definition is, it's a belief that some influential or controlling organization or group is secretly responsible for a notable event or phenomenon. So I guess if you don't have enough, if people say there's not enough proof for something, the people that still accept the proof that exists have to say that it's secret. That's, I don't know if that fully fits, but
well, let's take a current conspiracy theory like Epstein, which there's no, just because all this other stuff happened in the past doesn't automatically make the Epstein theory true. You still have to have evidence for the Epstein theory. So when you say that I call things that I have doubt about conspiracy, when talking about things you have doubt in, I do call conspirators, but you got to remember, like all the types of people that have
Circular
come up
definition.
here in the last 3 years, and all the crazy things I've heard from them too.
What is the
I'm
Epstein?
bringing up Epstein as an example of a current conspiracy theory, and I'm showing Charlie's point about just because there were 8 of these in the past, out of the hundreds of conspiracy theories, 8 happen to be true, doesn't automatically validate new current conspiracy theories. You still have to have evidence for each one. And
What is the
and
theory?
use-
What is the Epstein theory? Because I've
There's
not.
many of them. There's
Okay.
the PDF theory, the thing that he was working for Israel, the thing that the government was covering up, like they're protecting. Trump was involved, and there's the cover up. There's the satanic part of it. So you can extract many conspiracy theories out of the Epstein story. I'm just bringing that up as a current example. We can use a different one that's fresh. if
I'm
y'all
happy
want.
to use that example. I think I'm part of the conspiracy theory group that doesn't believe that he killed himself.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, and you did, and the AI backed you up on almost all of it. So
The lack of
pretty
fact-
much yes. You if your point was not to write off conspiracy theorists in general because some of them happen to be true, I guess it's a fair point, as long as you acknowledge that that doesn't make all the current theories true. That a lot of, I almost wish we had a conspiracist up here now so I could give a live example. You said you're a
big enough.
conspiracy
I'm
theorist
big enough.
around
But
Epstein?
also, I want to make one point. It doesn't matter what Jeff says. If Jeff calls someone conspiratard, that's his opinion. You have to be the one that says, I'm a conspiratard because he said that, so I have to defend myself. You have the right to say, that doesn't relate to me, and shrug it off.
Most conspiratards know they're conspiratards, and me calling them a conspiratard is not going to change much about what they think. Yes. Okay. Here's my position on that. I've talked before about probability and possibility. I keep an open mind about things that seem probable to me and things that I have evidence or reasonable evidence to back up. A lot of the things that are proposed, there's the evidence behind it is very thin, and the conclusions they draw from it are in the realm more of the least possible than the probable. So that's kind of my heuristic when I'm evaluating current theories. And a lot of them just don't seem as probable as the existing more simple explanation for it. I'm also very big on Occam's razor. So if there's a simple explanation that explains a current event, I don't need to go layers and layers deeper to find a more complicated explanation where the simple version explains the same facts. So if Occam's razor takes care of it, I'm usually going to be less open-minded to something more complicated. And if there's very, very thin evidence, I'm going to be less open-minded. And if if it seems more like possibility than probability, I'm going to be less open-minded. And a lot of the current things that are brought to this channel fall into those categories. Now, if there is a theory that does have some evidence behind it, does explain some of the facts, and may be probable, I'm much more willing to have an open mind for something like that. So I guess the category of things that I'm willing to have an open mind to are very narrow, but they're based on specific criteria.
So skepticism is based on empirical evidence.
Yeah, for me it is, because I'm an empiricist.
You don't have a problem if people are skeptical, correct?
I'm a skeptic.
Okay. I think you're less skeptical than I
But
am.
there's, like, yesterday we ran into the situation where the skepticism was against the government. Like the lone YouTuber was the one that somehow stumbled on the truth, and every other piece of evidence that came from official investigations of the government or anything else was automatically suspect. And this one guy's YouTube video was seen as more empirical than all that other stuff. So that's an example where the skepticism, I think, is actually working against the person's ability to understand the situation. I'm skeptical against anything that I can't verify through observation.
That's fine. I think
And
being
observation
open-
can be credible sources. In the internet age, where everything's remote and we're behind laptops, it can be a credible source, can count as observation.
being open to a conversation is important. Not agreeing with another individual is also perfectly okay. So if the door is going to be shut right away and you're not even going to have the conversation, that's going to cause fights. But at the same time, you have the right to do that in your own space. If you're not interested in that conversation, you're allowed to hardline it.
I don't mind if other people have it. Like, I rarely shut down the conversations. I just don't have much to add to them. But it's very rare. Sometimes I get tired of hearing the same conspiracy over and over, and I say something like, "We've talked about that enough. I don't want to have this conversation." But it's very rare somebody will come up here with a conspiracy theory and I won't let them explore it. So if that's what I'm being accused of, that's not accurate.
I mean, I'm not noticing you pushing people away. If reality is seeing it or noticing it, that's fine for him to call it out. I want to make a comment towards Brooks' vaccine causes autism. My grandfather was a part of the scientific team. He was a virologist that worked on MMR, and he was not willing to sign off on that vaccine because of its safety risks, and they fired him, and he had to go to court in order to get his job back. So I have a history, and I'm much more closer attached to vaccine technologies. So I'm an individual that respects an individual's ability to choose. I'm not going to stop anybody else from doing whatever they want with their bodies, as long as the system maintains the rights for individuals to abstain.
Well, that's a different conversation than if it causes autism or not, because autism happens developmentally in the womb. By the time the baby's born, the autism is already in the baby, and the vaccines happen after that. So chronologically, the vaccines come after the genetic development in the womb. So it couldn't possibly be caused.
When was autism first noticed in the population? Is there a point in time where it was?
It depends on what you count as autism, because there's descriptions going back forever of autism-like qualities that they didn't have the concept of autism to define it as. So, like, official autism, I'd have to research.
Yeah, the only challenge
definitely 20th century, if not late 19th century.
Okay. The only challenge I would have towards it is if certain aspects of humans started happening after certain technologies were introduced, then it's possible that it was able to affect the parents, and that is now handed down genetically through generations. So I'm an individual that's willing to challenge the science and keep going back after it to know whatever I can know, and not just accept a study that was done a certain period of time and then we don't get to look at it anymore.
Single studies don't prove anything. So you like, people were all perfectly normal and the same, and then some technology happened, and then suddenly a few people started coming out weird. That sounds less probable than that there's always been genetic diversity in humanity.
But at a certain point, it seems to have started to break down faster. We seem to have more.
I just think we started noticing
it before.
People started to study it, and it became like something we had a language to describe it, and we could identify it with more granularity and focus it on specific characteristics. Before that, they were just weird people. They might have been considered mentally ill. Who knows? I don't think the autistic neurotype suddenly appeared in humanity, and it hasn't always been there.
Okay.
I'm sure there were spurgs way back in the Bible days and ancient Greece. They just didn't have a way to call them spurgs. But they were probably weird. Like, they were probably called weird or strange.
I guess I'm just open to all studies. As people want to study into it, I don't think it's a waste of time.
I think studies that are less probable are a waste of time. That's my whole point. Like, that's because when Moose, what was he saying?
Moose was in here?
Yeah, by my reality. Something about shutting down.
By my reality, is that Moose? Oh shit! I thought
Yeah.
that was somebody else.
I think it was, anyway, there was some comment about keeping an open mind It's before shutting down conversations, but I only have a limited amount of time and attention. So I do pick and choose how much I'm going to invest in a conversation or a theory. And so I do weed out the ones that seem less probable, and I try to focus on the ones that seem more probable. So if people take that as shutting down, it's just me prioritizing what kind of conversations seem worth it to me to have. I don't do Bigfoot conspiracies or UFO or any of that stuff, because that seems much less. Flat Earth, moon landing, all of that stuff seems like a waste of time, because it's much less probable that those things are true than maybe something like the MK Ultra thing, which we actually have some evidence for.
Right.
So it's not me shutting down, or the autism conversation. It's much less probable to me that autism suddenly appeared out of nowhere than that it's always been part of human biodiversity. And so I'm going to spend much less time pursuing a line of questioning that autism developed out of nowhere than I will that it's always been part of humanity.
So
it's just me prioritizing where I direct my time and attention.
One thing is, be yourself. A group will grow organically, and people will congregate where they appreciate spending their time. If you needed to change drastically because it's just not working out, I think I would also call it out. I can appreciate what Moose is saying. Like, if he thinks that you're pushing people away from his view, then it would improve perhaps, but that's between you and him. You'd have to figure that out. Secondly, I don't think it matters what the conversation is. I think what matters is how people are portraying their beliefs. Are they saying stuff out of left field, vaguely, blanket statements, absolutes? You know, are they saying very weak arguments, or are they locking into the best factual evidence that they can give? Because at that point, I think it's a much more valuable conversation, no matter what it is, because you don't understand what I'm saying?
Say that last part again.
If someone has a conspiracy theory, we'll say, and they're using evidence and they're presenting it and they're giving sources and they're talking about it that way, that I would think in your case would intrigue you more than someone that's just saying stuff out of their ass. Someone that's just making.
Well, yeah, but you know how rare that is? You know how rare when I ask for evidence, they're able to actually give me something?
I agree. I think
the
standard for bullshitting is really low
to support their conspiracy theories. But also, as far as the shutting down conversations or pushing people away, if I'm pushing people away, then why are they still coming to my channel? It's not working, because they still show up here constantly all the time. So I dispute that they're being pushed away. I almost wish that they were being pushed away, but they're not, because they keep showing up. And I'm always willing to listen. So if somebody comes on here and starts talking about some kind of crazy conspiracy, I rarely shut them down. I'm willing to at least let them air it and get it out, even if I don't agree with it or I think it's stupid. So I don't want people to have the wrong impression that I'm shutting down conspiracy theories. And if I am pushing people away, they've never said anything to me and they haven't stopped coming to my channel.
Who can you give us an example that's making you bring this up, Moose, so that it can solidify your thoughts? Because the fact that it's a small group really doesn't equate as a winning for pushing people away. It's just,
and there's thousands I have over 1,000 videos, and probably 75% of them are me having conversations with conspiracy theorists.
Okay, so I see.
Oh, it's the conspirator thing. But that's my point. Even calling them conspirators is not stopping them from coming here and airing their conspiracy theories. In fact, I call them conspirators to their face, and it still doesn't shut them down. And they still don't say, how dare you call me a conspirator? They just keep going with their theories. And it's me being transparent. I don't want them to think that I buy into their theory. I'm trying to make it very clear that I think their theory is very improbable, and I'll listen to it. I'll indulge it, but I don't want them to think that I'm buying into any of it. And Conspirator does that job for me really well. And Moose, honestly, You and I have had conversations on here where you were able to present the same theories in a different way that I actually did start to kind of see why somebody might believe that. So you might have like, you might just be better at communicating them than a lot of other people. Oh yeah, the Gematria guy. No, I mean, he's never tried to come on here, and if he did, I would let him maybe talk a little bit. But he can go on forever and dominate a show. I would just for content purposes, I would probably limit him. But I don't even consider him conspiracy. He's a totally different category.
What
He
category would
seems
that
more
be?
like Spurgatism than anything else. You know, like Smith. He reminds me of Smith.
I don't consider you autistic, bro.
I don't consider you normal either. So,
Well,
in a
what's
good way.
normal?
That's
Average? Like, are you saying you don't consider him average?
Neurotypical, yeah, average, a normie.
I don't know. I consider him normal. Above average, but normal. Is that better?
Mm.
I don't know if that's better or worse.
I don't know. I've seen too much unique about him to categorize him with the normies.
I haven't known you long, Moose, but you seem to be in two categories: good faith, which I appreciate. It's easy to communicate in good faith, and then angry Moose. And angry Moose is more like something pissed Moose off, and he's venting. So those are the two Mooses I've seen.
Here we have a live conspirator in the back. Two of them, actually.
Here we go. What's up, Phil?
Why are you in? Oh, wait! It looked like you were in black and white because your dog is black and white and your car is gray. It made your whole
The eye test. That was the eye
video
test,
look
and
black
you
and
failed,
white.
Jeff. You failed, Jeff. That was an eye test, and you failed.
Yeah. How many fingers am I holding up? Here's the next eye test.
There's two.
Oh, no.
Hit the one in the middle. Hit the one in the middle.
Welcome.
What's up?
What's up, Jeff? And I
How you
can't
doing,
see
RW?
RW.
man. I'm happy to hear you guys put your 2 cents in the hat. If Jeff wants to form the question.
We're talking conspirators, conspiracy theorists. I know you have some.
And adulthood.
Yeah, and
Conspiracy
adulthood.
theories.
But I don't know if they'd be the best people to ask. No, I'm just kidding.
I think they look like
They're-
adult.
In many ways, they're more adult than I am.
What's the subject of conspiracy
Well,
theories?
Talking about the Smurfs, dog. The Smurfs. Are they big or small? That's a
are they
conspiracy.
communist? I
Are
guess
they
we're having a
social
meta
red father?
conversation about like how to handle conspiracy conversations. Or it started out with, are people that believe in conspiracy theories adult as people that don't? If
I
they
got-
have everything else that adults have in their life, does
All
that
right,
make them somehow less adult?
I got one for you then, because Bill and I were just talking about this. What do you think about the conspiracy that the government is manipulating weather?
Leather?
Weather
Weather.
Oh yeah, this has shown up on my channel before.
You see where
cloud-
you see where Jeff goes? Always leather with Jeff.
That's because of what I thought.
Well, if they're manipulating leather, there's something to talk about as well.
Smack it. Rub it. Flip it down.
I mean,
But-
we have cloud seeding technology. The question is, what level of manipulation are we talking about here?
I know that for the
they're
last 10,
like
I know
they're
that for the last
weaponizing
10
it.
years. I know that for the last 10 years, Bill Gates has been like spraying the whole surface of the atmosphere with chemicals trying to do shit.
All right, let me get a fact check on that.
That is, yeah,
Oh,
you'll find
that-
that. You'll find
That is fact. That's not even debatable. That is
Well,
fact.
if it's fact, it'll show up in a fact check. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's sun reflection.
And don't look at it for Wikipedia because that ain't gonna tell you.
I'm doing a
Use
Google.
Rockopedia. It's more factual, I'm sure.
It's that Rockopedia. That's a conspiracy, RW. It's a conspiracy.
That's fine.
I don't know, but
AI in control of all information. I'm sure that's going to go well.
He's funded research. He himself is not up in a plane spraying stuff. He has funded research.
Well, he didn't
into
fly the
solar-
he didn't fly the plane, no, but he did it.
He's funding research into solar geoengineering, which includes proposals to spray particles into the atmosphere to reflect sunlight and cool the planet. Proposals.
No,
There's
No,
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 evidence. No evidence. If you have some, share it. There is no evidence that he has actually implemented such project. These are
Okay,
Well,
proposals.
that wouldn't be shown. That's the problem. Y'all
Jeff,
gonna know about
Jeff,
that shit.
Jeff, in all due respect, Jeff, I've been following this for 10 years, and you've been following it for 7 seconds. So
So you have evidence. Then you can show 10 years. You would have surely come across some evidence.
of course,
We'll share it. This is perfect.
they've been doing it for 10 years, and now
Show me.
it's in the-
give me a link or
it's
something.
it's in the testing phase, but they've been doing it for 10 years. So
Here's
tell
a-
me
Here's a quick
they
one.
don't have any results from this test. I'm not going to report the test. Of course,
Well,
they're
why
not going to.
not?
Take a goddamn
Why
vaccine.
would
Take a
you not
vaccine, for
report
example.
that?
You got to
That's
test it for 10,
evidence.
15 years, and then you
See,
get
it
the
sounds
result.
like you don't want to seriously defend your
Well,
claim.
here's a quick one. This is Google Gemini, right? So Bill Gates has funded research into solar engineering, including projects like Harvard's ScopeX, which aim to test the effects of spraying particles into the atmosphere to reflect sunlight, but no large-scale deployment has occurred. That's different wording, isn't it?
Oh,
So ask
but-
it about the small scale then. Maybe
So
that's the
they're gonna tell you they're gonna tell you every large scale deployment that they've done. I mean, you're not gonna. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Like,
how do you have all this information that you can't even find on the internet?
I've gathered this information for years and years. I mean, I can find you test results of what they have been doing,
Listen,
but they only tell you part.
To be safe defense, he believes in UFOs and orbs. So, like, I mean, if anything can separate that, put that in your mind. So he has another thoughtful mind as far as that shit.
Did you say
Okay,
JD
that's
Vance?
those categories I was talking about earlier. I know what category to put him in.
He's in that category, Jeff. He's in that category.
Okay.
Hey, well, if I believe in orbs, now you're discrediting me or trying to help me out, Phil?
No,
you
I'm just
fucking
trying to
dick.
get some
No,
evidence.
I'm
for
not
you.
discrediting you. I'm just, I'm
not gonna
supporting you. I'm supporting you for what you are. That's all it is. I'm not saying you're lying or not, but you are who you are. So understanding that he's a supporter of orbs and aliens. I don't believe in that. I'm not saying I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're
aliens.
wrong. I'm just saying.
No, not aliens. I never said aliens.
Orbs.
So what's the orb then? Orb's an alien.
It could be the plane, the Bill Gates plane.
It
Maybe
could be
he's
the
sending
particles
orb.
that be exactly.
Yeah.
That's the orb he saw.
Okay, now I can think about that. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
All right, small scale deployments so far have been limited to controlled research flights and lab bench experiments. So the testing part.
Right.
Yes.
There's been a lot of it for many, many years. It's just
But when it comes to testing,
is different in that they're
do
spraying
it for 10
chemicals.
years.
Which is what you started with. That Bill Gates has been spraying chemicals all over the surface of the planet for years, and you still
Yes.
shaking your head.
yes,
But what
1000%.
Google is telling us is that they're doing controlled, limited testing that's doing this, but that's not spraying all over the surface of the earth.
Okay.
There are communities that have pushed back and stopped some of the balloon research where they go up in a balloon and put out particles because they're quoting safety concerns. And that my question is, why would a corporation be allowed to go up and test chemicals in the environment without the approval of wherever they're doing that?
Because
Well, how do you know they didn't?
Bill Gates can do anything he wants.
because they have money. 'Cause
How
they
do
have
you
money.
where do you get that they don't have the approval, that they just sent this balloon up on their own with I doubt they
Well,
did, because
the
that's
fact
not
that
how
they
we-
had to
Okay,
stop
listen.
the
First of all, to prove your point wrong, Jeff, people steal power from their neighbor's house and cable without no permits. So if you have the money or the audacity to do it, you just go do
These
it.
are research facilities. They have guidelines they have to follow, and they have accountability mechanisms. They have monitoring. Their scientists can't just go perform whatever experiments they want without oversight. So
They do go
first,
rogue,
I'm
bro.
wondering
They do
how
go
the balloon,
rogue.
if this is part of a legitimate research project, how the balloon just got up in the air on its own without anybody having to clear it first. I'm skeptical of that. That's where my skepticism kicks in.
No.
There was
If anything,
probably
you're
a
afraid that maybe they're doing it without no
balloon in the
permits.
air.
Is the thing.
Do what?
Maybe they're doing it without no permits, and that's what scares you the most.
Oh,
No, that's what
anyway,
I'm skeptical
happy
of.
happy 420 anyway. But until we bombed
420.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki, no one even knew we had this bomb. So we don't know nothing what they're doing with the weather.
Speaking of that, a B-State stated to me that Donald Trump renamed West Palm Beach Airport to Donald J. Trump Airport. Is that true?
Yes, it's true as of today.
It's set to be renamed. It's not officially renamed now. It's pending approval from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the Federal Aviation Administration.
Well, it was DeSantis'
If they
idea,
get this
so it's
approval,
already
the
done.
change is expected to take effect in July of this year.
Yep.
And he also stated that he's building a giant library, the equivalent to the Twin Towers.
I read about that. Yeah, I did see a headline about that.
Yeah,
But none of that sounds conspiratorial to me, that a president would do that kind of stuff.
that is not conspiracy. It's going to be the
So
biggest.
we're moving on from the rogue weather balloon and the spraying all over the surface of the earth thing.
This built Trump's library. If you saw the video today, the AI video of it, what it's going to look like, and I promise you, it's going to be. The whole goddamn thing is as big as the.
Hang on, I want to see it.
The whole thing is going to be like almost as big as the World Trade Building, and screens and video on outside of the building, and like red, white, and blue, and like 100 stories.
I didn't even have Trump pegged as a big reader. Let's see. I'm seeing
Exactly, bro. The guy's a fucking. He wants everything in his goddamn name. You know what it reminds me of? And Back to the Future 3, when the guy was it Biff? When Biff won the lottery, and he had everything. He had all the buildings, everything with Donald J. Trump. Biff, 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 Biff. He's trying to do the same thing.
Did he have his name on the money?
He's getting his
He might
signature
have.
on the money.
I think Biff has his name on the money. I'm not even sure.
Oh, then Biff's falling behind.
Is it the skyscraper?
Yes.
That's it right there. Yeah,
That's
check
kinda
this out. And I
It
promise
doesn't
you,
look like a library.
this is in Miami. This is going to be in Miami.
Is
It's
he going
kinda
to finish
cool.
this one before Obama finishes his?
I bet it's already broken ground. I'll bet you.
That's crazy, bro.
I mean, he is famous for Trump Tower.
It's the biggest building in Miami, I think.
I've seen Trump Tower in New York and Chicago.
These are AI people. I like the gardens.
I mean, Jeff said he can't even read.
Oh, and the lobby is so big, it's going to hold Air Force One, the original. Look, there it is. That's how big the lobby is. The original Air Force One, because he's getting a new one, you know? They're giving him a new one. So he's going to put the one now in the lobby of this fucking shit. Man,
Does it really bother you though if he builds all this stuff?
Oh my God,
No.
the big gold statue.
It don't bother me, but he's just trying to make his name. Like, for him, the presidential thing is more about his legacy. It's not about
that's
America.
I can definitely see him as an individual that is trying to put his name on everything and to leave a legacy behind, but I can't agree that his only purpose is himself. I'm not expecting the United States to be shittier in the end than it started.
True.
It's a
But when
vanity
it
project.
started,
He's
it was
not the only
probably more
president
free.
that's done that.
When it started, what?
It was probably more free when it first started.
Hey,
What was more
Jeff.
free?
Oh, now Jeff disappeared.
What
I'm going to get more coffee.
Civilians?
What?
Civilians were more free? What was more free?
I
be
think the
back.
country for itself, people were land was land. Everybody was more just. There were probably the same amount of killings back then, and all that kind of stuff, you know. But People were just people. Now, America, if you have the money, you can buy whatever the fuck you want to buy.
I mean, I think wealthy people have had more freedom than poor people since money existed. I don't really think that the presidents can change that too much. And I think that the major shift that I'm seeing in the United States is that under Biden, liberals had more freedom, and under Trump, conservatives have more freedom.
I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong on both. I think we don't. I think our freedom is less with both.
What
both
freedom?
parties.
What specific freedom do you have that's less?
Yeah, is it freedom or happiness? Which one? Which one are we talking?
Well,
More
man,
freedom or more happiness?
Which one of your freedoms are less?
Well, if I want to be in the Olympics and as a woman, I don't have that freedom anymore.
I guess. Did you ever?
But I had the freedom to.
And is that the government or the Olympics?
It's the
I
government
thought it
now.
was the Olympics that came out and said no.
Well, I'm sorry, in sports.
RW, you should not be in the women's Olympics
Why not?
because you look like you're a pretty big guy.
Well, but it helps me win.
Are you a man?
Yes.
Maybe he's a bearded lady. Why should she be discriminated against?
Don't limit me.
If she's good enough for the
That's
circus,
the
why
problem.
can't she be in the Olympics?
Because the Olympics is not a circus act. That's why.
Oh. Well, to be
So
fair, I'm not
be
going to
safe.
compete no matter what. So,
I'm still waiting to hear the freedom that you lost.
who, me or someone else?
No, Bisay. He said his freedoms were less.
Oh,
I didn't say that.
oh, I believe
Okay.
he said that under both presidents there was no freedom or something along those lines.
Oh, so you feel like you've never had the freedom at all to begin with?
No,
I'm
RW.
curious what people are not free to do.
RW said that the Democrats had, when Biden was there, that the Democrats had more freedom, and he said when Trump is president, the conservatives have more freedom. And I'm saying we never had any of these. There's no difference. That's the problem. That ain't a two. It's the two-party system is the problem. Got nothing to do with Trump or Biden.
Well, I know, but that's been there from the beginning. So you have to be happy with different caucuses and factions within the two-party system. That's just part of the American.
But why even have the two parties though?
Unless you can figure out a way to change it. Every now and then, people do a third-party run, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, no, I mean, which is technically liberals, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, why can't it just be ourselves, be you, fuck being red, fuck being blue, fuck being gray?
That's not what emerged from our country. Like that's not what happened. That's not how it turned out. So
You're meant to have the illusion of choice, not really.
So essentially, the way you view life in today's world makes you blue, red, or gray, which is the problem. Because you could be blue, you could be red, you could be gray, depending on the scenario.
You could be a radically enlightened centrist too.
You have to sign up for that belief system. You don't have to have that belief system, but a lot of people sign up for that belief system.
True, but it can also change, though, right? Can it not change?
Yeah,
depending on life, because if you evolve, your views on life change. When you were 20 years old, you could have been red, and now you get older. Now you're blue. Now you turn gray because I'm a little bit older, or vice versa.
Right. I think party support
you have to
is
convince
causing
enough
great
people
problems.
to change it, and so far nobody has.
If
Well,
you
and
have
the problem with the two-party system, like Wisconsin and Michigan, we're exactly 50-50. Now, what good does it do when everything is 50-50? That just doesn't work. We just go after each other, me and my neighbors. And if it ain't red or black or red or blue, it's Jew or Christian, or it's black or white, or it's rich or, that's the two-party system. Look at what's happening.
I think adulthood is an ability to transcend that and live beyond those superficial tribal divisions.
More or
There's
less,
no
we could
reason
be like yin and
that a
yang.
Trump supporter and a Biden supporter couldn't be neighbors and coexist in the same neighborhood and look out
My
for each
neighbor's a
other.
Trump supporter, and I'm not a Trump supporter, but he flies his flag, and I help him out. He's an older gentleman. I clean his goddamn yard. I clean his driveway. I don't care if you support Trump. You're still a person. You're still a human being. I don't agree with some of the views Trump does, but I'm not going to judge you because you're a Trump supporter.
That's very
but some
adult.
people in society run that way is the problem. So
Yeah,
you're already
some
making it two groups. You're already making it red and blue. On top of that, you're making blues mixed in with red because you're trying to be a person, or vice versa. And then you get people arguing like, "Oh, why you helping that guy? He's so supportive." I'm like, "Yo, he's still a human."
I think we need more people like you. And the country used to be closer to what you described. It's gotten more. I'm going to do an episode Friday on affective polarization. It's gotten more polarized.
I would
But
like
it used to be
understand the-
you could coexist, and your political opinions didn't rupture the entire social fabric.
I would like to understand the level of propaganda and how much bullshit information is making people believe that reality is a certain way.
Well, the problem is that the news network that we or society sees that's fed to society. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the people who are maybe elder, people who come home at 5 o'clock, they're eating dinner, I'm watching the news, they're feeding this to you. So that's your view, which automatically causes the separation. You know,
And the 50-50 that Bisay was talking about, I'm very skeptical of those percentages. I think that's propaganda, personally. So I would have to experience life more and see that it's actually 50-50. It's hard for me to believe that this whole nation has so many hair split 50-50s everywhere. That doesn't make sense.
What state are you in, RW, if I can ask?
North Carolina, where basically anywhere I am in rural North Carolina, it's extremely red. But if you go to a city, it's extremely blue. Now,
Well,
that's what I'm
that's
told. But I have to
exactly.
go
That's
personally and see it.
Welcome, Mr. Walker.
That's
Waffle.
my music. Damn.
welcome, French toast. Salute to see you again, brother man.
What's up, Phil? RWB say
Excited to
Jeff.
see you music.
Welcome.
Waffle, bro, waffle.
Waffles
All right.
good, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, French toast. Here, before
Some
I have
people-
to
Waffles.
Some
Go
people
for it.
call me asshole. Some people call me French toast. Some people call me waffle. Whatever, whatever you want.
asshole, we got the same name, bro.
I'm gonna call you Wu-Tang. Fuck that.
That's cool. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Hey,
Fat
Jeff.
boy gotta eat.
I got a good little discussion for you. Look up the video of Kid Rock and the Apache helicopter this weekend.
I just saw that.
Yeah, it's a great story because there's a little politics involved with this.
What is the real story? Because I just saw the headline. It said, Democrats demand investigation into how this happened and how it was allowed and how,
So Apache helicopter diverted a little bit off of a route and went to Kid Rock's house. It's like a mini White House to watch him. And then Kid Rock came out and he was saluting the helicopter. And so now these helicopter pilots are suspended because they were fucking around. And the governor is pissed off that they wasted taxpayer money because
What's the
Because they-
controversy?
They were already in the air, though. I would understand if two fucking jerk off, Air Force guys decided, let's go take a helicopter and go get this photo op. But if they were already on a training mission, they didn't go from California to Nashville, right?
That's exactly right. Exactly.
I have a little bit of a different lens. I feel it's weird at any time there's any sort of patriotism, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers got to be against it because it is just not good to love America.
But it's back to both parties again. So if it's not that party hates it. This party supports it. That one likes it. This one don't like it. Back to that bullshit.
I was telling Phil earlier, back in the day, if this was Elvis and somebody from the fucking army drove and saw Elvis and Elvis waved and saluted, that would be awesome news. And people would be like, wow, man, we videotaped Elvis. What's the big deal? But
That's the biggest controversy, is that Kid Rock is not Elvis.
well, but Elvis is Kid Rock is also
He's not fucking
golfing buddies with Trump.
fucking Elvis. Fuck Kid Rock. He ain't that fucking good.
No, but he's buddies with Trump, though. That's the whole issue going on,
I'd rather Limp Bizkit's better than goddamn Kid Rock.
Okay, music debate aside, I'm just saying, it's weird that there's only certain, and you fill in the blank here on what side is doing what. One side of people are proud to say they're American and they love America, and the other side, just anybody who loves America, you've got to be a racist piece of shit or in love with Trump. I get that shit all the time. Like, just because I support things he's said and done, people will be like, you support his whole fucking life. You support fucking, you know, and, you know, they brand. I've never worn a fucking MAGA hat, but the only reason I would wear a MAGA hat is to piss off the people that a red hat makes upset.
I think
to see your fucking dumb faces in Costco and Target and everything looking at my red hat. That's the only reason I would wear it, not for that guy.
See, to me, if you were wearing a red hat and you were on the side of a bank, stuck in a goddamn snow, and I would still help you out. I wouldn't be like, oh my god, he's a Trump supporter. It's more like he's still a human, dude.
Yeah.
Human.
Yeah. I don't know about any of you. I don't know about any of you, but I've actually lost people out of my life. Once I didn't hate Trump, because it's weird because people be like, I support Trump, but then people take it too far. So I just don't hate Trump. So I may have voted for him. I don't blame him for slavery and all of our problems and blame him for all this, you know. And people can't really handle that. You like have to hate him or you're a Nazi, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah, in some groups. I get that too. I've gotten taken out of groups before.
Yeah.
Just based on my politics.
I've had people with 15-year friendships just gone. Because
how recently did that happen?
Because I asked questions about Kaepernick and I don't hate Trump.
When did that happen? How long ago?
In the 2013 to 2015, in that area.
So even before the election?
Oh yeah, but before Trump was even around, it started with the Kaepernick shit. It started with it first started with the police shootings and the hands up, don't shoot, and the, you know, all the Trayvons, and then it got worse with Kaepernick, and then the Trump shit just made it point of no return where, you know, I never cut off anybody from my life because they hate Trump, but I've had quite a few people cut me off because I don't hate him.
I don't remember people getting cut off for voting for Obama or supporting Obama by the right. That seems to be a left thing.
Yeah. I was indoctrinated and brainwashed to be on the left my entire life because of where I was, you know. I was blessed enough to break free and move to the other side of the country and then live, you know, spend the other half of my life living in the opposite, and I got to judge for myself, and, you know.
Oh, no.
And again, what I believe and what you believe, when we go home and lay in bed, shouldn't fucking destroy society and make us unable to be in Starbucks together.
It is. It's affective polarization, and that is the biggest, I think, danger that's happening now, is we're not seeing each other as fellow Americans. We're seeing each other as dangerous enemies, threats, moral.
Yep.
Like less than human, morally corrupt. If you support Trump, you don't just have a policy disagreement or a different vision for America. You are supporting rape, you're supporting pedophilia, you're supporting racism, you're supporting fascism. You get all of these moral positions attached to you just based on what your political opinions or your vote is.
There's somebody that hates us equally, Jeff. I think you know who he is. I'm not going to give him any light here, but there's a guy who hates both of us, and every single day I allowed him in my Discord server for a strategic reason, but nonetheless, for a month he was in there. Every single day, and he was regulated to his own room. He didn't know it. He was in his own room like a monkey in a cage.
Is that the guy that made the murder videos about me?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Every single day without failure, he would wake up and tell the entire server, Trump F's kids. Just out of the blue. Not a, hey, good morning, hey, whatever. Every single day, that guy wakes up with that energy.
Yeah. I've seen it. They have a lot of it around here where I live, too. like in person.
And
I
it
don't
was weird
understand it.
until he knew my political affiliation. He loved me. That guy fucking loved me. But the moment I said so, he put up some anti-gun video, and I just chimed in like, that's pretty stupid, or whatever. Oh my God, he lost it and has been basically harassing me ever since. Like, he just won't
Oh my
go his
God,
own
he's
way.
killing your life.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got rid of him from here.
If you look at his channel, his
Don't.
most viewed live streams are re-streams of me and talking about me. Weird, super weird. But again, I've never seen this political stuff. I told somebody this the other day. I was watching a video from 1995 in the chambers of Congress, and it was Chris Farley and the Saturday Night Live cast in there imitating the politicians. And what did you see? You saw Republicans and Democrats arm in arm, laughing their asses off, having a good old time. Like, you knew that these people were friends and in bed with each other. And now it's the polar opposite of,
Maybe we all need to get in bed with each other again.
Oh man, I'm happily married, but thank you for the offer, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about it. I'm dealing with it myself. I don't know how to. People that are that entrenched and they're in like panic mode. They see the end of democracy, the end of the world. They see people as more demonic and less than human than they actually are. They have a completely distorted perspective on reality. I don't know how, and it's reinforced by these group echo chambers that they have a bunker mentality, and they're all in the same bunker, reinforcing each other's beliefs about the rest of us. I don't know how to get them out of that.
Jeff, they're literally in a bunker. It's called Discord. They're sitting in Discord servers. Sitting in Discord servers, just seething about life.
Yeah, because if I try to talk to them, then they get seen. That's like betrayal on their tribe. They can't be seen talking to somebody like me.
Right, because
then they're supporting racism or they're talking with the Nazis. So it keeps them. It's almost like a cult mentality.
Bingo. That is exactly it, Jeff. And it is a strategy of some people in the theater of debate that once you label, before you open your mouth with your, defending your side of anything, if you label that other person something that's deplorable, you've already won, and you've already put that in the frame of mind of everybody watching. Oh, that this person's a fucking, a racist before they've even opened their mouth. And it's the cheapest thing to do. The false sexual claims, false racism claims are some of the most damaging things to our society, and mainly because we don't punish the people that do the false claims.
I think it's their way of having power. Like, they don't have a healthy sense of power. And if you keep people scared enough or living under a constant threat, then you can have a lot of power over those kind of people if they turn to you for protection, leadership, guidance. And so I think some people are keeping people in that state and exploiting it for power. And then the people that are doing the canceling, and they're like, they learn it's very powerful to be able to play the race card or the gender card or cancel somebody. That's more power than they probably ever had in their life. So I think it's a very low debased form of self-empowerment. And I think there are a lot healthier ways to empower than what they're doing, but that's all they know, it seemed like.
Yeah, civil discourse is, all but gone. And
they're also much more tolerant of violence. I noticed they're more resistant to drawing a clean, firm line against violence when it suits their side.
Hey, RW, do you know Untrackable?
He left. RW dropped off.
Oh, well, Untrackable's from North Carolina too. That's all I was thinking.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, track was up here yesterday.
Yeah,
Wow, did we cover all the conspiracies?
Track and I share the same birthday coming up next week.
Aries.
Aries, yeah.
I used to ram head, bullheaded, hot headed. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, happy early birthday to you.
Yeah, I was never happy about being an Aries. It looks too much like a goat, but maybe it's a ram.
What's wrong with goats? It is a ram. It's a sheep. A man sheep. Big daddy sheep.
I wish I was like a snake. I don't like being a goat.
They don't have snake, but they have scorpion. It could have been worse. You could have been like me.
Ooh.
But Ram is cool. I always thought Aries was cool, and he's ruled by Mars too, which is the warrior planet.
I'm a fish.
You're Pisces. You don't seem like a Pisces.
Yeah, I am. I know nothing about that. I mean, I've read things before, but like I couldn't tell you what any of the shit really means. I just know what they say about Pisces.
Waffles, while we have you up here, what is being an adult to you? You seem pretty adult, at least on paper.
Being an adult?
Yeah, I mean, you're responsible. You have a job. You take care of a family. You raise kids.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, well, that's just it's a weird question that could, depending on which angle you're coming from. I mean, the technical adult is 18, right? At 18, you can go die for our country and go. Damn, you can't drink yet. You can go die for our country, but then you got to wait 3 more years before you can drink and go have legal prostitution.
Yeah, they changed it too. It used to be 18 when I was.
I would say not getting in trouble is a sign of an adult. I mean, you could be an adult at 18 or 70, but like be an adult,
following rules.
Yeah, see, I know a 65-year-old guy that has never outgrown his 25-year-old version of his habits, and I would say, you know, being in my 40s, I'm older. I'm more of an adult than he is. But then, you know, take one of these athletes that are already making millions of dollars and are responsible for all these other. Is that an adult?
What is your friend doing that, like, makes him less adult?
Well, for one, he's doing the exact same thing he was doing when I met him 25 years ago.
Smoking weed and playing video games?
No, I'd rather not say exactly because it might reveal some things, but
okay.
But literally doing the same things. And look, it's not a bad thing if you find something you do and you love, and that's fantastic. I've got a great career in IT, engineering, electronics, in that area. And every year of my career, at least I could say since 2012, every year I've made more money than the year before. I've leveled up. I've got a promotion. I've left companies. I've left, 3 or 4 companies. One company I left and doubled my salary just by changing jobs. So you kind of know how to play the game a bit then too. What game is that?
Just the game of getting and keeping jobs. There's a certain dance you have to do.
Well, it's because I was in the entertainment industry for the first half of my life, and fucked off. Didn't get didn't do 401k. Didn't pay off my student loans. Didn't, was too busy living in the moment of making $1,000 a night.
Okay, but RW, if you make more money every year after year, right?
First of all, it's fucking waffle.
That was me.
I'm sorry I was gone for a while, guys. I was switching my goddamn nuts. I'm sorry. Continue, BC.
No, but RW, if you make more money every year,
waffle.
you make smart decisions.
It's fucking waffle.
RW. He got swapped out with waffles.
Yeah,
French
it's me.
toast. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's me.
Okay.
Not RW.
I don't have my glasses. I can't even
You
read
can't see.
anything.
BC can't see, but I got eyes for him. You Gucci.
He's definitely an adult.
He's definitely an adult.
If you make more money year after year, right? And you make smart decisions,
Right.
and so that's all good, right? But does that mean you're more of an adult because you make more money, or because you're successful and not in trouble? And that's like, what is an adult?
That's why I'm saying this is a multi
Shift.
you know, this is a multi-level, you know, question here. In certain ways,
Yeah.
you know, in certain ways, if you're smart enough to negotiate, you know, life out there and jobs and changing, going to companies and leveling up, you know, I just use that as, you know, I didn't have that drive when I was living in my other life. So while chronologically I was an adult, I had a son at 10 years old running around, 10-year-old running around with me, going to venues and arenas and, you know, places that I should have been at home, you know, with him, raising him up instead of taking him on the road.
What's the question?
What?
Oh, here, Jeff. Let me finish this, because my kids are gonna roll in the door any minute, and I gotta go.
Oh, you
But-
cut off, or was it me?
What's an adult?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because-
Sorry.
Like, I buy all these toys for my kids, you know, every year, all the time.
You
But
kids.
I buy them for me, dude. They're for me. So I am like a grade schooler sometimes. Like, I am a kid still. I love playing with toys. I love having kids and playing. I don't know. Does that make me a child
Me too.
or an
No,
adult?
I do too. Yeah, that's a good one. How adult? I notice that a lot with the adults these days. They have the action figures and the comics and the collectibles from childhood.
Now, don't let B say distract you here, okay? Because what B say is not saying is that to afford all of these things and buy all the shit we liked as a kid and buy all the shit for our kids, you have to make good choices. You can't be working at fucking McDonald's, having a lifestyle like he just described of watching your kids open shit up. That's really for you. So
You got to make those smart decisions.
right, it's when you stop fucking around.
Doesn't the
you know,
Bible say put away childish things? At some point, you reach a point in life.
and a lot of
By the
these-
way, we're breaking for a commercial break. Tomorrow is our game night, live here, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Did
We're
you say
playing
gay
Fallout.
night?
If you want to play,
Gay
yeah.
night. Oh, I'm in. Gay night.
game.
Game.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I swear to God.
Oh,
We're playing
I get
Fallout,
it.
so show up here and
Oh,
play Fallout.
hey, Jeff, thanks for showing up for me and Phil live on Sunday. Thank you. You said you were gonna, so
Oh.
I appreciate it.
Well, you did. Yeah, I forgot. I
but
did.
I'm in it.
I
got a
might
phone
have been.
call.
I don't even remember what time I woke up.
No, it was
There
early
you
Sunday.
go.
It was early Sunday morning.
You made it seem like so inconsequential to begin with, like hardly even worth. If you're there, you're there. If you catch it, if
Right.
not, so
That was the
now
whole
you're
point.
trying to play a different kind of card.
Well, no, that was the whole point. It was even deleted before it uploaded. It was just like a spontaneous thing.
I did miss it. What did I miss? How long did it go?
Hour and a half. It was
Lord.
predetermined. Predetermined.
Oh well, I'm sorry
Yeah.
I missed it.
That's okay.
So Waffles, I never knew you were an entertainer. What does that mean?
No, I
Who were you
was
entertaining?
ancillary, not front
You were in a
stage.
band. You were roadie.
No.
Oh.
I'll tell you in Discord. I'll give you more
Okay.
direct things, but
'Cause I never saw that coming.
and ancillary part. Industries require a lot of people to make those stars appear the way they appear out there.
You were a makeup artist.
No, sir.
Oh. He's like, no. Were you a grip? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah. Just let me know.
Yeah. And luckily I was able to parlay that into my actual career, afterwards, because now I get to go, and do this, be in some of the same industries, but on such a higher level of designing, bigger setups and bigger different things. So
That sounds adult. Like you built on an existing skill set and turned it into something lucrative, and you made the smart decisions to keep leveraging that for better and better positions.
my worst decision was leaving 10 years too late. I should have left 10 years earlier. And then
Did
my
you
fucking-
shift into a whole different career?
No. I just to be very general, I went from somebody front stage to somebody backstage, and connected to backstages. There's so many levels of of things to do and design, and everything has gone to the internet now. So I basically became a level 2 IT person dealing with the things I deal with and designing, and yeah. I came to YouTube after I had my life in order. Most of these people are broken and trying to escape life, and that's why they're here, and all they want to do is fight and cause fucking drama.
You think they're trying to adult? Like, is this their way of?
No, this is an escape for them to,
Giving up.
It's hard to call because we can't paint everybody with the same brush. So
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just the guy who came out to my garage to smoke a joint, and if I wasn't talking to you guys on panel, I'd be playing music, listening to music while I'm smoking a joint.
Oh, that's what I do when I'm not on panel. Listen to me, not the joint, but the music.
French toast, where are you from, buddy?
Unfortunately, I'm from a part of YouTube where we can't say where we're from because every bit of information we put out is used against us. I'm sure there's a percentage of Jeff's listeners right now that are just here to gather intel because I've said mean
You think
words.
so? Is that
Yes.
why my numbers went up? Because you showed up.
Yeah, but
Believe
so you're trying to be private, like not even what area of the country?
I lived on one side of the country. I moved to the other side of the country. I've spent half my life in blue, and I've spent half my life in red. That's about as far as I can really go. Jeff knows a little bit more about me because Jeff has some insight. We're friends on Discord. And I'm definitely envious of all you people. I would have never gone on the side of YouTube I went on had I known what I know now. So I would have been with you.
Why are you envious? You can
Because
break out of that.
I would be cammed up with you guys talking shit and nobody would care.
Oh, because you can't. It limits what you can do on YouTube.
Right. Because God forbid you don't like one of these fucking, wannabe adults roaming around here causing drama on all sorts of channels. They target you, they dox you. I don't know if you've.
I've seen. Well, your friend we talked about. Yeah, he made murder videos of me.
Yeah.
But French toast, as soon as you go on StreamYard, I mean, and if you and Jeff are connected, behind the scenes, that's great. But by going on StreamYard, Jeff has a lot of information that no one ever would have on YouTube. So StreamYard opens you up. And I know this, even if Jeff doesn't know it, like maybe he doesn't know how to access the StreamYard info.
Sure. No, I know what you're getting to.
I already got called out for it. I already got called out for it on a stream one night. He knew everything about me because I was on StreamYard. He was able to. Wow, you can, if you're smart, you can.
No, it's exactly the reason why I got to take the measures I got to take. And again, because of the community I come from, Jeff can only see the information I'm sharing to him. And when you use a PC running virtual machines inside virtual machines, and you kind of know what you're doing, you evade that a little bit.
Yeah, it's already too late. It's already too late for me, but I try to do what I can, and I hope that Jeff doesn't take my information and share it. I gotta have trust.
No,
Who wouldn't want it? Who would I share it with?
Exactly.
Jeff's a
good
good
point.
guy.
No, I respect people's anonymity. I don't have a problem with people want to be anonymous. Like, this is the internet. I understand.
Yeah, there was a time in my life
I
where
allow every
I was all
adult
out
to
there
determine that for themselves.
You know Kane, right? Right, Jeff?
Kane's catharsis.
Yeah, because
Kane
of the
comedy?
people he
Yeah.
got tied up in. He got swatted 3, 4, 5 times, whatever, you know.
I kind of
Um,
heard they
Yeah, and
they're-
that's all those webs of
they were
people. that's-
weaponizing law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I guess law enforcement got tired of it, which I'm surprised it took them so long.
Hey, Jeff, I'm glad to see Mike Cerrone not here anymore, by the way. I just throw that
Oh
in.
well, don't quite say that. Yeah,
Why?
you probably don't know the behind the scenes stuff, but that's
Okay.
no. Mike hasn't been here in a while. I have certain guidelines people have to be able to stay within. To stay
Well,
there.
I'm just talking. The last time I was on a panel with him. Speaking of privacy, he was threatening to dox me and all my information. You know, he's a weirdo.
That's one of the lines that he.
These are the
Yep.
exact people that I'm describing, which is why, yeah, even saying the state, you know, they've already doxed the state.
I didn't even want to bring up his name, except that I'm happy I don't have to talk to him here.
Well, with all due respect as well, I don't go anywhere else because Jeff is one of the few people around here who says what he means what he says. So if he comes out and is troll and wants to let people troll, he'll be like, yeah, you guys go ahead. He'll keep it within reason. Once they go to the fucking kids, the doxing and all that, Jeff gives him the boot. And then there's other days where he's just like, I don't want none of that shit here. And, you know, I could disagree with everything Jeff's fucking show is about, but I respect the ship Jeff runs over here.
Of course, I agree with you 100%.
And in this madness, Jeff is one of the few, you know, normal people I've found around here. And that might sound weird to some people, who'd be like, how's this fucking guy with antlers rocking back and forth? How is he normal? But it's like, no, there's a fucking there's a ton of broken ass people here who are just trying to hurt each other, and Jeff's not one of them.
And Jeff's not normal either. Never describe Jeff as normal.
Well, no, but he has a point, because I used to think the same thing, and when I got on YouTube, I have never felt more normal in my life than being here.
Oh my God, yes. It's like I watch my 600-pound life, so I don't feel like I'm like, oh, I'm not fat. I'm too hard on
Yes.
myself. I'm not fat. This bitch is fat.
Exactly. It set a whole new standard for what abnormal was.
Me and my wife used to watch that. Oh fuck, I can't remember the name. There was some marriage show on VH1 or whatever, but it was all fucking train wrecks. You know, people like trying to come save their marriage and everything. And we would be, you know, we would have these dumb mundane fights in the beginning of our marriage, but then, you know, we'd look at this shit, we're like, oh, well, we're really not that bad. We actually love each other. These people are fucked. We're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. YouTube gave me a glimpse of entire segments of society that I don't know that I would have come into contact with on my own.
Well, this is the lowest common denominator, Jeff, because one, it's free. All right. YouTube is one of the most recognized names out there, and it's free. None of these people have the slightest idea what it costs to actually stream people and sending packets of data over. You know, these people have never paid for a stream in their life and have.
But
no
they
idea
have
what
to
it
have
is.
like at least a cell phone, right, and an internet connection. So they're putting
Right.
something to get on here.
But that's why they're
Although
not on,
I've seen homeless people stream.
right. But that's why they're not on Rumble and Odyssey and these other ones, because YouTube has the most name recognition. There's more people here than all of those other fucking sites combined. And YouTube lets you do it's so like and again, I'm not going to put it out there, but it's very easy to get around YouTube's rope system, if you will.
Oh.
Yeah. It's I can't tell you without telling it myself, so I have to tell you in private. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of, and that's why so many demon, savage, fucking loser weirdos are hanging out here, looking for people, whether it's to grift money. There's people out there saying, you know, they got all sorts of diseases because they want money, and faking diseases, help.
I've seen that.
the addiction, like nothing against addiction. I got
Addiction.
family in recovery, but I'm not in recovery, so recovery content doesn't appeal to me. 90% of the people in the community I'm from, Jeff, have got issues with addiction.
Well, this is like one of the biggest bars in the universe,
Yep, well said.
and everything else.
The only thing is, though, is we're not all listening to the same music, because even in a bar, right? If you go to a bar, you know what kind of bar you're walking into. You know when you walk into a bar, by the music playing and the atmosphere, whether that's with your vibe. There's none of that here. We don't like the same music. We don't like the same. And my community, the fault is we can't share any information because we're always fighting each other. We got to be on the defense. So I can't tell you what kind of music I like when I was listening to in 1993 in whatever city I was in, right? There's no commonalities. There's nothing for us to bond over. There's nothing for us to have in common. So it only promotes fighting. So a bar would be 100 times better, because at least you could be like, oh yeah, I like this bar, I don't like that bar. Here it's
And there's
just
a
like,
bouncer.
yeah.
Usually, at least in a good bar.
It's funny. I've done some music streams, and I tend to be toward the hip hop area, reggae, R&B type of stuff, but
I would have never got.
because of everything in my life, I can do a rock mix. I can do 70s. I can do 50s, 40s. We could do all sorts of different shit. And I realized by doing my music streams, I had some people like, hey, Waffles, I fuck with you, but, I don't like the shit music. Let me know when you're going to do a rock show.
You do music streams?
Yeah, but only private to StreamYard only, not to YouTube. Because I don't like dealing with
like
I don't like
backstage.
dealing with the strikes, right? The strikes. These people over on where I'm from, strike wars. I've been struck by every single side of losers. So they strike you down and take your channels away when they don't like what you're saying or doing. Then when you play music, you got to deal with the algorithm. You've got to deal with copyright. You've got to deal with everything. And I just prefer not to have any of that. So I do a private stream off of YouTube that I can have. I think my cap is 1,000 people. It's still StreamYard, and I can have people on, off. I can't get struck, and I can play videos. So I have like 12 terabytes of music videos. So I can play whatever music videos I want.
I should do one of those, like a little backstream hangout. Maybe a members thing.
So I'll go live on my YouTube channel, make the stream silent, drop the link for my private stream in the chat over there. I know that's against policy, and I'm so...
Oh, wait, I see other people do that. You're not supposed to do that?
No, you're not supposed to use YouTube to drive people somewhere else.
Oh.
Because I'm not streaming. My stream is
Because other
silent.
people do it. They have off-stream lives.
Sure. They have extra content you can go to, or websites to buy merch, or
Because you could do it through Discord too, right? Do a hangout in Discord where you
yes,
show.
I used
videos.
to do that, but then with Discord, that meant I had to deal with people and have to let them in my Discord, and I don't like people. So
it's a way to get people that are not
So I
necessarily
can
in your inner
send out a
circle.
link, and if you want to chat, it asks you to input your name, a chat name, and then boom, you could chat all you want. If you want to just sit in the lobby and lurk and just watch the chat and listen, then great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can embed it wherever I want. I can do, pretty much anything and not have to worry about YouTube. Plus moderation. Like when I'm playing music, I don't want to sit there looking at the comments, fucking, trying to, wrangle retards in the fucking drama community who can't stop.
Yeah. Thank God I don't have any of those in my chat.
No.
They're-
Well,
You might have one.
One retard? Let me
might
see
be a
if I
couple.
can spot-
Might be a couple.
Spot the retard.
It'd be me.
Oh, I did. There was that person never drops by here. I do see one retard happen to come in.
So, Jeff, I'm tracked. So anytime my account goes anywhere, chats, posts, goes live, anything, they've got Discord alerts for it. So
Yeah, I've heard of that. They used
they
to put
literally,
trackers
I'm
on.
like a tagged shark, and like they got a geotag in my fin, and yeah, it's the weirdest thing. And then they call me obsessed. That's the crazy shit.
Well, maybe that's why my numbers are going up. They're tracking you.
Yeah, I'm gonna start using that other account. I think.
I should get I should get more tagged people. But then it also, the downside is it brings all the trolls.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that to you. That's why I've.
Yeah, those are the ones that follow the trackers.
Exactly.
Because we got big game at this channel at one point, and my numbers would shoot up almost into the hundreds when that person was here.
Here's what
they
happened.
were tracked all over Discord.
Here's what happened, Jeff. You wouldn't allow your channel to be used for their purposes, meaning you didn't keep people they needed wrenched to patrol the chat and make your channel friendly to whatever side. Again, I'm not trying to point any fingers, but of whatever side of fucking useless loser trolls wanted you. If you can't help them, then they just stop coming and they ignore you.
A lot of people think they can manipulate me because they think I'm less. They think because I'm half retarded, I'm less
Jeff, they talk
perceptive than I actually am.
I saw them talk so much shit about you. And it was like, then to see some of them come over and then, yeah, it's weird.
Well, they always show themselves though on other channels. Like I would see how they act here, and I would see how they act in other places, and I could put it together pretty quickly. Maybe that's another like the thing about adulthood is the ability to not let yourself get manipulated. I think is an adult quality.
Well, they couldn't control me, so thus I was voted off the island.
And I actually made a compromise with a lot of them that we could do drama light. We could have a little bit of that here if they keep it within certain bounds. And for a while they did, and then the guest himself is the one that blew all that up for him. And so once he stopped coming here, everyone else stopped coming here.
Yeah. They have
But I let it go for quite a while, as long as they were able to stay within our agreed lines.
They have this saying that I never said this in this community, in this setting in my life. This is what they say about each other. They yell at each other and say, "You don't know how to play with your food."
That doesn't seem adult.
Well,
what does that mean?
It's not adult, but to me, the only translation is that they're talking about predators and prey. You know, when the lion plays with his food, that's because these are internet predators looking to prey on normal people. That's it.
Oh.
Once they, like Bisay said, once they get your information and all that, then the threats come. Then if that doesn't work, they go to every family member connected to you on any website and start calling them and say, "Hey, do you know what they're saying online?" But then they come online and then they say it's just words on the internet. So, and one of them is really upset in your chat right now.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I kind of notice. And we've been trying to figure out who that is forever. We know it's a sock, but we don't know who it is. We have our suspicions.
Right. And so that person is connected to 15 other people, and they're all like, "Say this, say that, ha ha ha," you know.
Oh, because they're in Discord coordinating. Yes. That's how it works.
Well, and they're all in hiding right now.
Going up because they all have the stream pulled up to watch.
Well, there's a lot of drama going on right now, and police are involved in places, so they're all laying low in the Discords.
Well, don't bring that here.
I got nothing to worry about. Police can come to my house and look at whatever the fuck, all my records, everything I've ever done. I'm not one of these motherfuckers. Myself, and a few other people around me, Tabar and a few others, we.
Hey, Jeff, French toast. I gotta run. My kids are here, so I gotta go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Go be a dad. All right, Bisay. Good.
Okay.
All right, Bisay.
Grown man, child, adult with toys.
Yeah, but see, now I gotta pretend to be an adult, right? So
I don't know. I think you pull it off. I think you pull off adulthood. pretty well. We'll get
Okay.
to the conspirator stuff another day.
Okay, we'll see you guys soon.
All right.
See you.
Take care. Be safe.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's that, Jeff. You pretty much know who to avoid. You've done very well with navigating the.
Yeah, because this person in the chat right now, that's another person that pretends to be all here for support and, oh, we like your channel, give it a like and a view, but we see other emotions coming out right now.
Oh, I invoke a lot of emotions, Jeff. I invoke a lot of emotions, but again, they say I'm obsessed.
No, this I don't ever see walk. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The last 10 chat lines with this one person from 2:09 p.m. to 2:15 p.m. The last 6 minutes is this one person.
I wish I know what I said to hurt these people's feelings that much, you know.
But this person is not going to reveal who they are. Because they want you to they want you to say who you are, put your other channel. But
So
we'll never know who this person is.
Jeff,
because
some
it's a
of
stock
these
account.
people
It's created
said,
for anonymity.
some of these people have said that I deserve to be doxxed more than anybody else because of the things that I've said.
Why? Like what?
I've been very mean to people. I'll admit that, but then I would also argue I didn't just, stroll in places and be like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. No, there were, shots thrown both ways. And if I'm meaner, does that make me a worse person?
Well, I've never seen it here. At least when you're on my channel, you've always been respectful.
Respect is a two-way street. You've shown it to me since day one. I can't do nothing but show it to you. Have I porn bombed people? Yes, I have.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yes, I have. You damn right I have.
Yikes. That's
again, I would
concerning.
never, I wouldn't. I have no reason. I would never. I'm not a savage demon out here to get. There's nothing to get over on Jeff. We're here talking. I porn bomb people because they fucking did something to me, so I did something back.
I think that's crosses a line for me.
You don't think it's funny?
Soda? He doesn't want to talk about the other channel because he doesn't want you to know what it is. That's the point of having the second channel. He doesn't want people to know what the channel is. So it makes sense that he's not going to give it. I don't know what you're charging him with or accusing him of.
See, now
creating a second channel to be anonymous and not revealing it, that's the smart thing to do if that's the reason you made a second channel. I don't understand what your complaint is.
The problem is whoever the real person behind this account is would show where they lie in all this, and I could accurately, go back and forth with that person. I can't go back.
The irony is this is a person with a second channel who won't even reveal their own self, and they're in the chat crying about you having a second channel and not revealing it. I don't know. Not very adult, Soda.
Soda's mad. Soda's running games on a few channels right now, so they can't give it up that easy. They won't hit that link.
Yeah, I know. We've had our eye on Soda for a while. They haven't crossed any of my rules yet, so they haven't gotten themselves banned. They're still welcome to sit in the chat. Well, do you have any other tips or insight into adulthood? Do you have any wisdom to pass on to the rest of us that haven't fully made it to adulthood?
Man, we're all on different paths, so it's hard to judge. You can't. But I would say, like, broad brush society wise, I had my son when I was 20, and he's lived with me his whole life. There's not a lot of people, not especially men, doing that. And if I'm not successful at anything else in life or don't do anything well, the fact that my kids are in a better spot than I was, and each one of them are better than the one before and better than, you know, my wife and I. That's the biggest adulting. That's the biggest victory.
God.
That's the, you know, money comes and goes, friends come and go.
That was fucking beautiful. Dads are heroes to me anyway. Yeah, leaving the world better than you found it. You're right. Might be the ultimate mark of adulthood.
That is great. I can't even go that far because I got to take care of my house before I make the world better. I got to make my kids have got to go become productive members of society and not these fucking. I'm sorry, Jeff. I don't know where you're at or how much you go out, but these bigger cities, society is fucking failing us. Like the lack of respect, human to human, old to young, races, sex, like it's not good out there. And a lot of that has to do with the lack of fathers in their kids' lives.
I wonder if it's generational too. Some people tell me that Gen Z and millennials lean a different way on that type of stuff than our generation did. Because we were the generation that took care of stuff on our own. We didn't need adults constantly intervening. We worked it out for ourselves, and we all hung out with each other more or less as equals.
Right, but we did it earlier. But right now, my kids at let's say the average of both of them 10, are both 1,000 times more technologically and book smart than I was. But in real life, couldn't leave these motherfuckers alone. They'd burn the house down. And at 10 years old, I was riding my bike 2 miles away from my house.
Yeah.
There's no way that would happen.
To me, that's adult. Like being able to be left alone on your own is more adult than not like needing constant supervision. You're saying that kids these days can't be trusted on their own anymore?
No, it's not. They're just not ready for it yet, and society's, not in a way that I would want my kids riding 2 miles away from my house right now. They've got more virtual friends and they hang and play video games with their friends virtually more than getting together. Like, to me,
they don't have, do they have in-person friends like that hang out after school, or they go to each other's house, slumber parties?
Saludos,
Yo, Phil. We try to do that, in our neighborhood. So we're in a neighborhood of, like say 300, families in the same school and, same everything. And there's a couple of neighborhood friends, and sure, my kid could go to the park or whatever. But we're also in a society that it's not necessarily the kids all the time. It's these adults too. Society is different than when we were growing up. Sure, the same things existed, but it wasn't out there. I could be 2 miles away because everybody knew everybody, and there was more of a, kind of a social code and shit.
A neighborhood watch, you called it.
There's nothing now. People don't know their neighbors.
We didn't have GPS. We didn't have Bluetooth, cell phones. When your mom told you to come inside at 6 in the morning, or in the afternoon, lights came on, you came in the house. That's all it was. Neighborhood watch.
So, Phil,
we didn't have that.
I don't know how old your kids are. So, my youngest is 9. Or about to be 9.
Mine is 18, the youngest.
Okay, my oldest is 26. So I got a big area. But my 9-year-old friend had a birthday party the other day. We were one of 3 parents of the kids that were there. The other ones dropped their kids off to this place and left, and came back and picked them up at the end. 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what we would have done too, as long as there were adults there. Not
no
all.
Doubt that's what. No doubt that's what we would have been. I would have been alone for sure.
Now, are you stating that in today's day and era that kids don't get dropped off and the parents gotta be there, or they can't be dropped off without nobody like being around?
No,
But-
I'm not saying either. I'm saying I'm in a weird spot because as much as I'd like to be in the, and yeah, my kids are smart and know not to leave with anybody or whatever, but to a place, where there's 500, people, 300 people or whatever, not a private house party, a venue, if you will.
It was like a dance or something.
So yeah, something like that. Out video
We used to have
games and
those.
all sorts of activities and a whole big thing. Me and my wife, we were sitting there. We were weird. Like, we couldn't just drop her off and come back, and we were, looking weird at the other parents, but not like in a, in a negative way. It's just in this society now. Like, I'm not there yet.
Oh, hold up. At the same time, you grew up in a time frame, I imagine, that you were dropped off in the corner, not even the actual house, or you walked because there was no transport. Mom going here. Hey, Mom, I'm going to a party's house.
Yes.
And you went there. And that trust needs to be there now. Are there freaks in the world? Are there chaotic people in the world that do weird shit? Yes. Now, I believe in the old school system. When you find them out, you fuck them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I look at it.
Vigilante justice.
For sure. I'm in a weird, we're in that weird spot where it's just like we
So,
want
like,
to be there.
I recommend dropping your child off at the party, that the parents who are responsible because they invited your child's invited, so they're inviting your child to come to me.
But
so,
it's also a public place. But it's
True.
also
Yeah,
a
he's
public
like
place.
the dance. We used to have
True.
the dances at KC
True,
Hall. and
but,
all the parents
I mean, you
brought
got to
their
write it
kids.
out, bro. And then if the guy
I know,
or someone in the family does something stupid, you just fuck them up yourself, bro. Fuck calling the police.
No, don't listen to this idiot in the top right corner. No violence, due process.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm not calling them violence. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm talking about
Non-violently.
my own way of doing it. That's how it went.
Listen, I fully
Puerto Rican
acknowledge
way.
I'm a hypocrite. All
Yes.
parents are hypocrites.
Let's do it the
right?
Puerto Rican way, bro. Exactly.
But at the same time, it just I'm in that weird spot. I know you're right, but we're just not ready to let go on on that one yet.
But that's the smallest one. So they do say the smallest one. Parents try to be like, oh, they care for them more. They're more like, oh, man, fuck them kids. Them kids are fucking growing the fuck up, and you're taking care of them. You're doing your job as a parent, which is roof over their head. You're giving them food, and they're going to school. So they got all the three main things in their life. Everything else, they got to figure it out like you did in the goddamn corner, going home, because you didn't ride a goddamn bus. You were on a goddamn regular bike, not an e-bike with a free goddamn motor, just running around town with a helmet and shit. You rode a goddamn bike and you just went home. That's
truth.
how it was, dude.
I can't even be mad. You're right.
They got to figure that shit out, bro. Yo, we used to drive 3-4 miles with no parents, no cell phones. I'm just going home. I'm going to be home at 3:45 roughly, give or take. I don't know. And you had to write it out, bro.
Well,
this whole fear that we have of our kids. It's like, bro, let kids be kids. Like we were kids.
Here's the thing. With my oldest, who's 26, it was a free for all because it was just me and him. I didn't, he wasn't with I wasn't with my wife yet. So it wasn't it was kind of a free for all, I was 20 years old.
I was 21 my first one. But when you was a kid, your fucking mom wanted you out the goddamn house early in the goddamn morning. 9 o'clock, hey, go all your goddamn friends if it wasn't a goddamn school day. And when you came home from school, go outside. And you went outside and the parents weren't worried about where you at. Text me, call me. Oh my God, my son's here. Let these fucking kids be kids, man. We're so goddamn protective of our goddamn kids, bro. Let them fucking figure shit out.
I got
GPS
GPS watches on the little motherfuckers.
I'm being real, bro. Yo, these kids are pussy because our parents, us as parents, are feeling our own kids. Let these goddamn kids figure this shit out, bro. Oh my God, the bus left me. Guess what? You're walking home. My mom told me that shit. You missed the goddamn bus? You better walk home, motherfucker. And you walked home for an hour and a half? Hey, you learned a goddamn lesson? Yeah, it won't happen again, man. But we're so goddamn worried You didn't call your kid. He doesn't answer. Oh my God, pandemic. Call 911.
No.
my
It ain't no shit like
I'm not
that.
saying. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying society. Society
Yes.
in general.
No,
Like, oh my
putting
God.
pillows
Like,
around
kids
them.
don't
Yes.
answer. Like, oh my God. Like, dude, calm the fuck down, bro. Maybe he stayed late at school with his friends and he was in the backyard running on the goddamn hill in the wintertime or taking his bike around the goddamn block. You're so worried about the kids. Like, fuck them kids. And not like that. But you know what I mean? Let the kids be kids, dog.
Oh,
That's my view on life.
RW doesn't agree.
I don't know if but part of the reason that the millennials are like they are is because they were raised by us. And we remember how we were when we were kids. I don't know if I would let kids.
And then we were scared. Oh my God, my kid can't go through that. Not what I went through. Not in today's society.
I don't know how we made it out of childhood.
Fuck
honestly,
that shit.
We skirted that edge so.
Man, fuck all them kids. Fuck your kids, my kids, your kids. Fuck them kids. Let them fucking grow the fuck up and understand what life is. God damn it. Fucking pussy ass goddamn Thundercats. So they are. Young ass Thundercats that don't know shit. They can't turn a goddamn tire in their bike. They can't turn a tire in their car. They don't know if a starter's on their brakes are out.
Weren't you the one that went and rescued your daughter when her car broke down? And took care of it.
You know what? She had actual fuse electronically, which she don't have skills at, which I didn't have skills at that age. There was a time in the car and I fixed it because of my wisdom that I've gained through age and experiences. And I had learned that shit as a kid, hitting my goddamn flat tire because I couldn't go home. Mom, my tire's flat. Please help me. Pussy ass Thundercats. They're all pussy. Fuck them Thundercats. And fuck all them kids.
He should have sent her a picture of a fuse and said, "Figure it out."
Bro, it was. I didn't want to go into that, bro. I had to dig so deep to find this shit.
Your car or something?
Through blueprints, yeah. I give it my car through blueprints, bro. I'm doing research, and a 50 amp mini amp fuse under the battery box is the problem, dude. God, hey, but her dad has skills. He took care of it. I'm telling you, these kids, if they don't have a phone next to them, they don't know how to do a goddamn thing. And the fucked up part about it is, it's going into the workforce. The workforce themselves. These kids can't read the measuring tape. They got measuring tape.
I was in the workforce last year.
You gotta tell them what an eighth is, and 3/8, and a half inch. Like, you fucking pussy ass motherfucker.
No, I got something to say about the workforce. I was in it last year, and some of the most competent adult people in that workforce were the 18, 19, 20-year-olds. It amazed me how mature and skilled they were. They were running circles around my generation.
Good for you. You got 1 out of 10, man. Fuck them Thundercats.
But those 1 out of 10, those are the ones that are stepping up to enter the workforce in the first place, and they're doing it probably even better than we would have done. I was blown away by these kids.
I'm not seeing that. Else. Not in anything in my industry. Everybody coming in from the bottom.
They all suck.
Yeah.
No, I gotta get a plug in for this new generation. I've seen it firsthand.
These Thundercats fucking suck dick. They're horrible. They're just pieces of shit. They don't understand what life is. They don't understand what it is to have responsibilities, especially the men.
Some of them do. Some don't give.
Some of them do. So 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. And Jeff, every guy went to your company, and they're all perfect.
You know that's
and
not what I said.
For the record, Crack has a Tweety bird. It is Crack. It's not me.
It is him. The birds are back. Track, for the record, he's
Salute
high.
to the birds.
What's up, Track? We want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I saw the title of the stream says, "What is an adult?" And in my opinion, that means everything, every moment, every step, every second is a risk. that needs to be calculated. You know, not just your life, but your house, your relationship, your child, your occupation. If you have a vehicle, everything is at risk all the time.
That's why you can't fucking worry about that shit, man.
You
Well,
have to
you
like
don't-
being able to manage risk. He has a great point.
You don't
You
worry.
got insurance. You got insurance.
You don't worry, but you have to be responsible.
Of course, of course.
It doesn't have to
That's
be
why
your
I'm in my
fault.
car drinking.
It doesn't have to be your fault, but you have to handle business. You have to handle this shit. If your car gets hit in the parking lot and they leave a note on the car, well, you have to call the number and you have to handle that shit. If your car gets hit in the parking lot and they don't leave a number, guess what? Now it's on you. That's money out of your
To handle
pocket.
that shit. To handle that shit. Exactly.
Uh,
I can handle it
you-
my
you-
way or the other
you
way,
can
but
go in-
it's true. But we're talking
you
about
can
being
go-
adults. I can't argue with you right now.
You-
You're right. Go ahead, continue,
You-
brother, man.
You can go into the place and you can hopefully, maybe get the camera of the license
Fuck
plate
the
that hits you.
cameras. Listen,
But-
yo, track. I got kids running through my neighborhood, e-bikes.
You-
not giving a fuck.
To
Not giving
be
a fuck. It's
ultimately
everywhere.
responsible. You are responsible for everything. It's hey, you are not God. You are not God. But
Did your
you are
mom watch you,
responsible.
Track? Did your mom watch you when you was a kid?
But you have to
No,
be
Drac.
responsible.
Track,
Wait, let him
answer that
finish.
question, Track.
Let him
Track, when you was
finish.
a kid, Track, when you were 13 years old and you had your 16-inch goddamn fucking mongoose, was anybody watching you?
Nobody was watching me.
Exactly. So you're saying,
But
as an adult,
somebody paid for that bike, and when that bike got stolen, guess
okay,
what?
that's responsibilities. Again, we're back into that. You're back to that, which is part of
The-
adulting, with what you're stating, which you're right. I'm sorry. Going off track here.
There,
But the kid
there
and the
are
goddamn other
wins.
part.
There are wins and there are losses. If you give your kid a toy, let's just say, like you wanted to bring up a bike. If I give my kid a bike and they go out and they ride their bike and somebody steals their bike and they can't tell me where that bike is gone, well, that's $200 gone.
But they haven't to me.
Someone's
Kind
stealing
of
your
funny
bike.
you say that.
Well, this is called adulting. It's like now you have to explain to your child, you no longer have a bike because you didn't take care of your bike. My priority is to take care of you. You came back to me without what I gave you, but you came back to me. So now I get to explain to you. I'm not gonna buy you another bike.
No, but as
But
an adult, you can also be, you know what, son? Who stole your bike, son? You know what he looks like? Yes, Dad. He had a red shirt. He's down in the corner. You know what? Tell me, son. I'm gonna show what an adult is. You're gonna
and-
find
and-
out where your goddamn
and-
bike's at.
And
That's an adult move
that,
too.
that is also an adult move. It's like, hey,
You goddamn right. And you know what? We're gonna come back with your goddamn bike, and that motherfucker will never fuck with you again. And if he does, I'm gonna fuck him up and his goddamn daddy. Come on with
but
me,
it
son.
doesn't
Get in the car.
it doesn't always work that way.
I know, again, I know, but that's the choices that we make. Back to what you said, choices that we make are adulting. So as we grow up, we make choices in our lives with our children or with ourselves that ultimately decide where we go. Now, I have my vendetta style about family shit. So do you. You know what I mean? You may want to talk to your kids. See, son, you put your bike by the goddamn store without a chain on it, and that's why you got stolen. Fuck that. Who took your goddamn bike? I'm gonna
And
find out.
that's
I'll bring that shit back. Don't worry about it, son.
but
Watch this.
also there is so much as an adult that is out of your control. I'm not talking about losing a bike.
Yes.
I'm not talking about a dent in a car. You know,
Well,
there
you
is,
are. I mean, you actually brought it up, but I'm fucking with you.
but you are responsible because you understand, like I understand.
I got you.
Being a non-commissioned officer, like, hey, it's not just about the gear that you make sure that they bring with them. It is their lives. And when you have to tell somebody, hey, your son, your daughter isn't here anymore, and I was in charge of them, that is a step of being a leader, because there will be no more for somebody tomorrow, and those days will come.
So
And
adulting has leadership skills also with it. What you're stating,
Hey,
it's part of
real
being a
quick.
leader.
Hey, real
this
quick. I have an
this
adult,
is
Hang on,
adult
let Walter
decision.
cut in. Go ahead.
I got an adult
This
decision
is-
I got to make right now. Sit out here and smoke another joint, or go start making dinner for the fam.
You know what? I'm gonna do a joint with you
No,
for
I
like
can't.
5 minutes, and then I
gotta
gotta
be the
go
adult.
inside. I gotta
I
go
got-
inside and cut potatoes, bro, and onions. So don't leave now, motherfucker. Don't leave me now.
I gotta do more than just cut two things. Damn it. So, but I'm gonna jump down to the chat. I
I'm
appreciate
cutting
you,
15 things, motherfucker. 15 things, bro. Be an adult, bro. Be a man.
bro.
It's an
I was a
adult
man.
Don't
choice.
listen. Thanks for
I
coming
smoked the
up,
joint and
Walter.
hung out already.
I'll
I'm
fucking
good.
with you. I'll
Very good
fucking with you. I'll fucking with you.
I'll get you on the next one. I'll get you on the next one.
I will, brother, man. I got you, brother, man. I'm giving you shit.
All right, Jeff.
Take
Thanks
care,
for having me. Phil, Track. See you guys later.
No doubt, man. I came back on.
Take
The
care.
wifey called
Have a
me.
good adult meal. I'm sure it'll be delicious. Better than I can make. Cooking, being
Yeah.
able to cook, that's adult.
Yes,
Learn to cook
that's what I'm doing now.
and just eat.
I'm doing scallop potatoes, homemade scallop potatoes
Homemade.
on the grill.
survival.
You slice your own on the grill. I thought you could do them in the oven as like a casserole.
So,
And we're in
survival.
Wisconsin.
Hey, hold
The
on.
grill's all year round.
Hold on. Take it from the cook that survival is kid shit. Surviving others, meaning you have enough to take care of those that you know. Take
The
care of
family,
your
the family, the family. Take care of the family.
Surviving
take care of your
others.
take care of your troops. Take care of everybody around you. That's adulting. Being able to put food in your mouth, that's kid shit. Being able to feed everyone else and making sure they have what they need, whether it's feeding them, putting clothes on their back, keeping them warm. That's what a quartermaster does as far
The
as the
people you're
military is
responsible
concerned.
for, but not just every random person.
Well, that is adulting. Being also having the discretion,
Again.
having a word like discretion. Discretion means my choice. Is it worth it? Yeah, okay, you got your kids, you got your family, you got your troops, you got your team members and whatnot. So don't say no strangers. Hey, maybe a stranger comes along. It becomes discretion. Are you worth it? And then that's when the measurement of
No, I call bullshit.
or
call
do I
bullshit.
not like this person? Then?
If it's a stranger or fucking not, stranger or not, you help all fucking people. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Oh, you don't,
Whatever
you
it
don't,
is.
that is talking
You help
about
all
risk.
people. Yo, you help crackheads. Yo, you help crackheads, Jeff. You help
No, I do not
crackheads.
help
You help everybody, bro.
I
And
do
then
not
you know
help
what?
trolls. I do not help
Okay,
crackheads.
okay, so
I do not
don't help them.
I
That's your view. But I'm telling you my
drugs,
view. Yo, man,
Cretans,
look
Neanderthals.
at God just
Help
shining.
with any of those
Yeah.
people.
Talk
There's
to
a
me,
certain
man.
level of
Help
society.
all
Don't come
people,
to
bro.
me.
Help all people. Fuck them. Yo, fuck them kids. The kids don't need
That's
help.
why your
The
bike
kids are
keeps getting
kids.
stolen.
They're growing up. Listen, kids are growing up on their own, and they're gonna grow no matter what, without our help or not. And you know what's so worse? They got social media help even worse. So they're telling them everything they need to know. Let them figure it out, man. Let them figure it out. We grew up to goddamn cartoons and
Well,
breakfast and
okay,
school.
you keep contradicting yourself because you just said if the bike got stolen, you would go take care of it for him. Let him figure that out on his own. He don't need
No,
you to go take
I'm talking about an adult. If I saw a man on the side of the road needing to walk, I'm like, where you at? Like, hey, how you need a ride? Yeah, I need a ride. If I see a guy getting his
every
goddamn front
person on the
yard,
side of a road a ride. That's crazy.
hey, why not? Why not? Everyone's so scared. You know what? If the guy that I did on the
cautious
side of the
around
road
strange
kills
on the
me,
side of the road. I think that's
then that,
healthy.
you know what? That was God's fate. I'll supposed to die by a hitchhiker. Here's what it is, bro. One day, Jeff, I'm gonna see the side of the road, Jeff, and I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking Club Exile, Jeff? Are you Gen X, Jeff? Yeah, I am. Oh my
No
God,
better
no, it really is you. I'm just
If
saying.
you see a guy with antlers on the side of the road, you better stop for me. You'll know it's me. Ooh, look at that sky. Wow. That
That's
is
beautiful.
a gorgeous blue.
That is beautiful.
Oh, wow. That makes my brain feel so nice.
Do I have to, do I have to go outside? Is this a competition of outsideness?
Oh, did I trigger some male status game? But what color is the sky in your world?
It's discretion, brother. It's
Blue,
discretion.
man.
I'm
You
with track
can't-
on this. Discretion and
you can't-
discernment.
You can't save everybody.
You're right about that shit. You can try your best to help everybody. That's all I feel, man. I feel like, listen, whatever you give comes in return. So
Well,
if you know what? You can give. It might not come. I don't care.
But that's where the discretion comes in. It's
Well,
like, hey, you can.
That's
You
the fucking. It's not in my hands. It's not in my hands no more.
Let him
You
talk.
can seek. You can seek to help somebody, or you can run across somebody and be like, you know, I have, so therefore I can give. But if you go out,
bro,
you could be wasting a whole lot of time and effort and resources.
Okay, so back to adulting. That's when you find out, okay, I'm trying to help a person, and he ain't trying to learn, he ain't trying to change. You know what? I'm done with you. I give everything I can. I was an adult about it. I knew when to left, when to leave, and when to get into it. And if it didn't work out, I can't control that. That's your plan. That's how you live your life. I can give you, I can bring you to the water, but I can't make you drink, bro. That's how I see shit.
I can lead you to water, and I can drown your ass. Yeah.
Or that too. How you look at it? How you look at it? Hey, it is what it is, bro. They're both the same way. I can't do both though.
Don't get in the
can't do
car with
both.
Phil. After all, is becoming the real advice.
I led you to water, and you couldn't swim, so you didn't
I'm at
make it.
fucking
So
4% battery. Just so
my
you guys
part
know.
was-
So when the battery
part was-
dies, I'm gonna start raking the backyard, around the house, start barbecuing and all that bullshit.
Well, yeah, back to these potatoes. I've never heard of doing them on the grill. How does that work? The scalloping part.
So you cut them thin, right? And then you put them in aluminum foil. And you put onions inside them, and you put butter, you put your seasoning, and you put them about half hour on the grill. And you pull the whole aluminum foil out, you put it on the table, you open it up, It's on point. Jeff, that shit you make, oh, goddamn, feels fucking right. Now, how you want to do them, that's your style. I can't tell you don't put Cajun seasoning when I don't like that shit. It's your shit. Whatever you like,
Well,
you
I
put in
wouldn't
it.
put it on potatoes.
I'm just
What do
saying.
you put? Cheese? Sour
I
cream?
put garlic, some fucking salt, pepper, butter, and put them in the grill. That's it, bro. With onions. Nothing else.
Oh, with onions. You don't put no
30
cheese?
to 40 minutes. And then you have the ones on the bottom a little more baked. So if you want them a little crispier, it's your choice. Ones on top are perfect. And then you put your meat on the grill after that. It's a wrap, yo. It's a wrap.
What kind of meat you doing?
I'm not sure. Pork chop or chicken. I'm not sure yet. I got some steaks too. I mean, I could put some steaks too, but I'm not sure what we're doing yet. I mean, I'm gonna do.
Do you eat like this every night? That seems adult.
Yeah,
at least eat
I
like
try to.
adult. Nice.
But sometimes, you know what? I don't want to do shit. I want to just eat out. I just order food and bring it back home. Whatever, bro.
Well, you're partly an inspiration to some of us, most of us.
Oh,
maybe.
I appreciate that. Hope my phone doesn't die. It's gonna die though, but it's gonna die. So I'm gonna stay in panel till it dies.
Okay,
So
that's okay.
I
Track already dropped off himself.
yeah, track left off. So
You help me close
I
out
ain't
the
trying to
show. Do you
leave.
have any more adult wisdom? For
You
aspiring
know what?
adults?
Treat everybody like goddamn humans, man. We're all humans. I don't give a shit who the fuck you are. Help somebody that you know in your life, a friend, somebody. We all need help, man. You don't know who's who, what they're going through.
Some humans act
So don't
like
judge
animals.
nobody. Don't judge nobody for
Yeah,
what they
no,
are.
definitely judge.
Even when they're miserable, man. I got a guy who's miserable as hell, but he's got cancer. He's dying. Maybe that's why he's miserable. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But I know that. And
What do
everybody
you
else
do
knows
for
that shit. I give him love. Even when he's an asshole, I give him love back in return. But you know why? Love beats hate. Love beats hate. You can't. Love will beat hate all the time. My grandma used to drive slow, and they used to cuss her out and flip her off, and she would wave to them. Oh, have a wonderful day. You have a good morning. And I saw that as a little kid. I'm like, damn, what the fuck's going on with that shit? But that's now that I'm older, love beats hate,
Somehow I
man.
can't see you doing that.
Hey, I'm just trying to tell you. You said a message. That's my message. So my phone dies. Everybody in the chat, the love. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate you, Jeff. Appreciate Track, Isay, RW, Waffle. Everybody being adult. Being adult, man. Just whatever your view as adult is, just be who you are. Don't change. Fuck everybody else. What I think about you, be your own person.
All right, I guess, man, you timed that one pretty good. I think that's your battery right now. All right, and that's our show. Okay, I don't know if we learned more about being an adult or just got more confused. I feel like we clarified some things. So that's the show. May or may not be out this evening. Just depends on how the day goes. Tomorrow is, guess what? This is the last day of March. That makes tomorrow April Fool. We're going to do an April Fool stream. This is the time to cut up, have fun. We're going to talk about fooling ourselves the most. Sometimes the person we fool more than anybody else is our own self. So come tomorrow for all the April fooling. No stream on Thursday. I have things to do that day, so I'm going to take Thursday off. So look for me tomorrow for April. Have a good rest of your day. I'll catch you tomorrow. Fool. All right. Take care. Hang on.
Yeah!